Let's get nasty on a Thursday. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter, 2 o'clock on the dot. Your time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. In a couple of minutes here, we will be joined by the future general manager of your St. Louis Blues, Alexander Steen. That was announced today. Blues held a press conference. Tom Stillman was there. Doug Armstrong was there, and, of course, Alexander Steen. So Steener is going to serve for the next 2 years as the assistant to the general manager and then move into the general manager role, where Doug Armstrong will then move into the president role. And Army had his contract, which had 2 years left on it, extended another 3 years. So Army's still going to be a part of this organization moving forward, and he is going to be the mentor to Alexander Steen. Jamie, your thoughts?
I like it a lot. I like the move because, you got Steener, who spent a huge portion of his career here playing for the Blues and really was a pillar when it comes to leadership and that whole group of players that came through here, the Oshie, Backus, Pietrangelo, Schwartz, name your guy. Perron once again. Name your guy. Steen was a teammate with them and had an impact on not just those individuals, but the club overall. And, everybody automatically assumed that Steener would get into coaching following his career because he loves hockey so much. He's really a student of the game and all that. But I always thought in my head that he wanted to be more a part of the building process. And so he tiptoed through it a little bit here. And I could tell this year he came and traveled with the team a bunch. And you could just tell his role was greater than what you thought it was going to be. And then you hear that he's a part of the process to in the hiring of Drew Bannister, the interview process. So obviously there was a thought of this happening a while ago, and Army talked about Christmas time. He knew that he wanted to try and elevate Alexander Steen's role within the organization. So it's a great day for the Blues, and it's a great day for Steener.
That's Jamie Rivers with Carey Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter. Let's head to the 101 ESPN Celebrity Line, where we have the future GM of your St. Louis Blues right here on the Blues Radio Network, Alexander Steen. Steener, thank you so much for joining us, and congratulations. This has already been, I'm sure, a hectic but a fantastic day.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Well, now I know why you were traveling yesterday. No, Steener, congratulations, man. I'm truly happy for you. I know that I know you love St. Louis, and I know you love the sport of hockey. I think this is going to be an awesome move for you, and you've got to be really excited about it.
Yeah, I'm very excited. This is like you said, I've came here in 2008 and, was really welcomed by the city and the organization and, Blues alumni like yourself and grown a lot of deep, meaningful relationships here and, always been passionate about hockey, grew up around the rinks and I'm excited about this opportunity. Obviously having a mentor and someone to work as closely to as Doug Armstrong and be able to watch and learn and have conversations about things is obviously a massive benefit. So I'm very excited.
Yeah, Steener, not going to lie, I think a lot of people in St. Louis and in the NHL probably looked at you as a potential coach type guy. And I know working with you on the ice and watching you with your teammates and whatnot, I could totally have seen that. At what point did it kind of change for you, or did you ever even have aspirations to coach?
I don't know. It's been, for me, when I was playing, I kind of stayed inside my little bubble there. I wanted to do as much as I could and to the best of my ability when I played. So I did get questions about it, but I tried not to, and I don't feel like I gave it much thought while I was active. And then after I retired, that I was hurt for a little bit there. Like that was a tough time. I think you grow up playing the game and is a big part of you, and also going through the pandemic. We had a young family. My my physical health wasn't great. I had that back problem to deal with, and so there's a lot going on. But as everything kind of started settling, and it's always been in the back. It's something that I've always been interested in, and I did some worked with the junior national team in Sweden for 2 World Junior tournaments, and got a lot of experience from that. And I think just speaking with Doug and the relationship we had, and this is just kind of grown more and more as this time has gone on.
Alexander Steen joining us right now on the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Steener, I know you were asked this at your press conference today, and you might not have an answer to it right now. But when do you think that you'll have an opportunity to carve out the way you want to approach being a general manager? I know you're going to be working with Armstrong, and you've worked with Army now the last couple of years. But when do you think you can put your stamp on it, and have you given that any thought?
Well, I think it's even when I played, I think it's very important to be present and be where your feet are. I think right now, I'm excited to get to camp and development camp and to continue to work with the prospects that we have and get ourselves ready for the coming season. That's kind of been my focus. I'm also at the same time kind of finding my rhythm and momentum and everything too. It's a lot to take in, a lot of new experiences. This past year has kind of been eye-opening, and I'm really fortunate. We have a lot of great people, and Doug's done a tremendous job of surrounding himself with high character, great people that I'm going to learn a lot from and lean on, and so. As of right now, it's I believe in everything that's going on right now, and I want to keep that momentum moving forward, and that's kind of my thought process right now.
Congratulations again on the new role. I'm sure you've been looking at this roster and trying to figure out what you can do or how you can assist to make this team better. What are some of your thoughts going into the next couple of seasons as to what this team needs to be the best version of themselves?
That's a good question. I mean, I think we have a lot of great players. We have great leadership. I think our goaltending's, amongst the top of the league. We have a pool of prospects that are, really impressed me this last season. I've had a chance to work with a few of them or a lot of them, and I've been really impressed with the resiliency and what they've accomplished in one hockey season. So. I'm looking forward to getting more engaged in everything and feeling my way out there. To me, that hockey continues to evolve and grow and change, and there are some parts of the game that I do feel are like the meat and potatoes of the game. You're always going to need good goaltending and playing on the inside and defensive side of the game and stuff like that. But I think the biggest thing is being in sync with the program or with the plan, and it took a while. We built everything while I was an active player over a long period of time, but the enjoyment of it was the day-to-day process and what we were going through as a group, building it and moving it forward. And I think it's important that we stay present like that and continue to do that right now.
Steener, the hockey part of it, I feel, is going to be pretty natural for you. You've been watching the game since you were a little kid. You were hanging around the locker room when your dad played. You played a really long time in the NHL. That part, as far as I'm concerned, that will come relatively easy for you. What's the biggest challenge for you moving forward? I mean, I don't know if you've talked to agents yet, if you've been a part of a contract negotiation. What are some of the challenges that you look forward to being a part of?
Challenging myself, number one. I think, the experience of it, you can't really rush your way through it. You just have to go through each experience and learn from them and take away from them what you think are valuable and important and move forward and to the next one. And there's things that you just simply can't rush. I'm looking forward to the draft that's coming up here. there is one draft a year, and that's my opportunity to get that experience from being on this side. So it's things like that. But like I said before, the people around me have a ton of experience. I'm very grateful that they're supportive and it's just been great. It's been a really great experience for me to have conversations with them and call them after meetings and walk through stuff and check my own opinions, see am I looking at this the right way, and just things like that.
Well, Steiner, before we let you go here, I just want to make you aware that if you ever need a 49-year-old defenseman who's really good in the room, I'm available. I've been trying to stay in shape, and I still feel like I have a lot to bring to the game.
I appreciate that. I just wrote that down. Thank you very much.
All right, buddy, go enjoy your day, man. Thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations. I know you're going to kill it, and I look forward to seeing you at the rink all the time.
Yeah, me too. I appreciate it, guys. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Alex. All right, that's Alexander Steen. He's going to be the new general manager for your St. Louis Blues. We want your thoughts on this, too. What do you think about the announcement? Does it matter to you that it's a former player, it's a former Blue? We're going to have that discussion at some point. Do you like what you're hearing thus far? I mean, Army talked a lot today about change and how it's necessary for an organization. What are your overall thoughts? Leave us a mic drop via the 101 ESPN app, and we're going to play those throughout the course of the show today. I want to get into one of the aspects of that, though. We don't really know what direction the Blues are going to go in from a drafting standpoint, free agency standpoint, trade standpoint. We don't know what that looks like yet under Steiner. But let's at least have the conversation about the roster construction and our thoughts, too, on what Steen just told us next on 101 ESPN. Well, our thanks to Alexander Steen and the Blues for having Steener on that last segment. If you missed that interview, don't worry, we got you covered. We'll have that podcast up for you, and we'll have the interview posted at 101ESPN.com at some point throughout the course of the show today. Podcast is always brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter. I know a lot of people, and Steener was asked this today at the press conference, but a lot of people are wondering, well, what sort of philosophy will the Blues have under Steener? We don't know that. We won't know that for quite a while. He's going to work, just like he has been, hand in hand with Doug Armstrong. And I don't know how you guys feel, but I think that's incredibly smart. And I think we should see more on-job training just like this in all sports. You think about, Carey, the NFL. Some hotshot offensive coordinator who has only called plays is hired to become a head coach.
Right.
And he steps into that role as a head coach, and he's immediately blown away by how many other things are going on.
Yeah.
He's no longer just calling plays. Mm-hmm. And then he struggles because he doesn't know about game management, and he doesn't know how to build a roster, and he doesn't know about the other aspects that make a complete team. Where's the on-job training for that? So with this, I think it's smart. Steener has never been a GM before. I know he has worked on the drafts and things like that, and he's had a real hand in the international market. I think that's fantastic. But now you can work with Army for the next 2 years before you even think about putting your stamp on things. I think this is the best route to go, Jamie.
Guys, here's what I shouldn't say nobody. Here's what a lot of people are overlooking right now. The hockey part of it is just one piece of the pie. Evaluating talent, the draft, free agents, trades, that all fits into one little piece of the pie. Because you've got travel, you've got hotels, you've got when you're traveling, you've got all sorts of other stuff that you have to worry about as a general manager. I did this job smaller scale, but also with a lot less help. And Alexander Steen's the business side of it, you heard Army talking about he's going to be a part of the marketing plan. What do you mean marketing? I got to go draft the next superstar. Well, no, actually, you're a part of the marketing, too, because this is a business, and we have to market our team. We have to market those players that you want to draft. We got to figure out a way to make them look awesome and to make us look awesome. And by the way, you have 4 guys that are unrestricted free agents coming up and 3 guys that are restricted free agents. All of their agents want to be called tomorrow. So you got to do all this in the next 24 hours.
Yeah.
That's the part that is going to be essential for Alex Steen to have Doug Armstrong there. Because that's the part you can't, you just don't know it till you've done it. And so having a mentor there or somebody you can bounce ideas or just letting Doug do it for the first little while, maybe the next 3-6 months, Doug is handling all that. But Steener's right there on speakerphone, listening and watching and taking notes and learning. There'll be things that Doug does that he likes. There'll be things that Doug does that he doesn't like. And you heard Steener. He's like, I have to worry about me. Mm-hmm. You know, I've got to be the best version of me.
Yeah.
And so that's what he's going to try and do is create how he is going to go about his business on a daily basis.
Yeah, I think the on-job training is probably the best part of it, being there, going through it, because, like you said, you do not know what you don't know. At times when coaches or managers get that role, you don't know that there are so many other factors, and general managers, same thing. There are so many other factors than just the actual sport that you are managing. And so now you have to worry about everything. You got to worry about players, making sure they're where they're supposed to be when they're supposed to be there. So there are so many other things to be concerned with. And again, having that on-job training. And good for the Blues to have a succession plan in place, to have the person that you know is going to take over when Army is saying, I'm no longer going to be in this role. Instead of, being in a chaotic situation, trying to search, having a search firm or we like this guy, no, I like this guy. You already have the plan in place for who's going to be the next person in that role. I think it makes a lot of sense for the Blues, and I think it's the best way to go about your business.
Yeah, and I like that. I like that it's a guy that's not that far removed from the game. And, so many times in the past, pick your sport or whatever, you go with the older guy. All of a sudden, you're bringing in the guy that's been around forever. That guy doesn't necessarily have an idea of what the modern-day athlete is going through or what the I guess, what they're doing right, what they're doing wrong, where there's a miss. I'm talking about the athlete, because things were so different when they were in that locker room or they were in the league. And Steiner is just, 4 years removed from being an everyday NHL player. I think that says a lot. And there's a lot of guys in the league that he still knows, that he played against, played with as a teammate. And I think that's important. You got a fresh set of eyeballs that's going to look at the game from a very progressive standpoint. It's not going to be stuck in a rut of the way he's done things for years past. And I think that's important, because right now this Blues team needs a vision towards the future, because they're kind of stuck in, we're this kind of a team, but we're this kind of a team. You know, they're trying to be this puck possession team, but they don't necessarily have the right roster for it. They want to be a good defensive team, but they don't necessarily have the right defensive core for it. So moving forward from this moment on, you're going to get a new set of eyeballs that's going to carry weight in those meetings, and I think that's important right now.
Yeah, I do too. So this is Steiner. We asked him about, kind of what his philosophy could be, or what he's trying to accomplish. And in this, you'll hear him talk about things that all good teams have, but then he says something that might be better in terms of the big picture. Here's Steen.
To me, that hockey continues to evolve and grow and change, and there are some parts of the game that I do feel are like the meat and potatoes of the game. You're always going to need good goaltending and playing on the inside and defensive side of the game and stuff like that. But I think the biggest thing is being in sync with the program or with the plan. And it took a while. We built everything while I was an active player over a long period of time. But the enjoyment of it was the day-to-day process and what we were going through as a group, building it and moving it forward. And I think it's important that we stay present like that and continue to do that right now.
He's going to pick up a lot from Army. He's going to pick up a lot in terms of how to deal with agents, how to deal with other personnel that are with the Blues, how to deal with players now that he's on this side of things. There's going to be a lot that he picks up. At some point, he's going to have to develop the Steen way to do it, the Steen way to be a general manager. To piggyback off the point that you just made about, you echoed what Steiner said. He said, I got to be the best version of me. Yeah, you do, because they hired you to be that. If you listen to Stillman and you listen to Army specifically today, Army talked about how I care about what's best for the Blues. He says, I do that first. I ask that question first and last, any decision he makes. He talked about change. It's good for an organization to have change at some point. Different I said on this. Mm-hmm. So while I think it's perfect that Steen is going to learn a lot from Army, Jamie, I think it's paramount that he also has his own way of doing things once he gets his feet under him.
He will. That's just Steiner's attitude. And I mean that in the best possible way. Like, as a player, as a leader on that Blues team, he was very demanding. He demanded a lot of himself, and he demanded a lot of his teammates. And he's an ultra-competitive dude. Just think about that for a second. He was raised as the son of an NHL hockey player who's a legend up in Winnipeg, by the way. And then he carves his own path, and his very first stint in the National Hockey League is with the Toronto Maple Leafs, the hockey mecca of the universe.
Yeah.
And then he gets to St. Louis, falls in love with being a St. Louis Blue, and along the way had some discussions, we'll just say it that way, with certain teammates. And those discussions were always with the betterment of the team being the primary goal. And I just go back to 2019, and here's what people don't understand. There's all these rumors of the rivalry the friction between Pietrangelo and Steen. Those guys were joined at the hip. And sometimes the friction was necessary for the group to know that we're all in here trying to push the other guy.
Sure.
And then ultimately, let's go back to Army's comments about what's best for the Blues. Who exemplifies that more in recent history as a player than Alex Steen?
Right. Going to the fourth line.
He took his demotion or his new role to the fourth line with no problem. No media problem, no crying, no anger, nothing. And what did he do? He took it upon himself to elevate that line, to push Sonny, to push Barbie, to be better than what they were. And ultimately, that line became the difference maker for the Blues in the playoffs.
100%.
No other fourth line was shutting down first lines on other teams. They started every game in the Stanley Cup final. That's because Alex Steen knew that what was best for the Blues was for him to play on the fourth line. So if you think he's going to go to the draft table, the negotiation table, the trade block, whatever, if you think he's going there with any personal agenda, you're wrong. He's going there because he wants the city of St. Louis and the Blues to be successful. And I can tell you this, beyond a shadow of a doubt, Alexander Steen wants to win not just one Stanley Cup. He wants to bring multiple Stanley Cups while he's here in St. Louis as the GM.
That's Jamie Rivers, Carey Davis, Anthony Stalter. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. We've got What's Trending next.
Gentlemen, the NBA Finals, well, it's been pretty one-sided for our guy Jason Tatum. But it doesn't matter. It's still going to be exciting to watch the rest of the way, and it's still going to be a lot of fun to use FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, while watching the NBA Finals. And, Carey, right now, it's particularly exciting for new customers. They're going to get $200 in bonus bets, and all they have to do is place a $5 bet and win their bet.
Yeah, Jamie, that's $200 to use on same-game parlays, live bets, and so much more. There's no better place to bet all the finals action than America's #1 sportsbook. That same-game parlay, maybe you want to take Derek White for three-pointers, Al Horford over in rebounds, I don't know, Jaylen Brown in assists, and Jason Tatum in points. All Celtics would probably be the best bet.
I'll say there's no Mavs there.
No, I wouldn't go that way.
Yeah.
Just go the way that I said you should go. Celtics in 4 seems to be the case.
Yeah, it looks pretty good for them, that's for sure. But as Carey was talking there, whether you want to follow Carey's advice or go a different route, it's all available at FanDuel. You just got to go to the website, FanDuel.com/fast. Again, FanDuel.com/fast to get started, and then you can take your shot at an extra $200 with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Must be 21 or older and present in Illinois. First online real money wager, only $5 first deposit required. Bonus distributes now trouble bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. Big news of the day, the Blues announced that Doug Armstrong has signed a 3-year contract extension to continue leading the club as president of hockey operations through the 2028-2029 season. The club has also named Alexander Steen as special assistant to the general manager through the 2025-2026 season, after which he will be appointed as the 12th general manager in franchise history. We talked earlier with Alexander Steen. If you missed that interview, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free 101 mobile app. You'll find all of our interviews and full shows there, and it's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. The Cardinals are looking to take the series against the Pirates as they are currently tied with Pittsburgh in the bottom of the 5th. 3-3 is the score. We have What's Trending coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
It's time to find out what's going on in the sports world with What's Trending Now. Brought to you by Goodwill. Donate a car and get tickets to the St. Louis Cardinals.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN with Anthony Stalter, Jamie Rivers, and Carey Davis. I'm Andrew Marsh, and it's time for What's Trending. Gentlemen, last summer we had the chance to watch Netflix and watch Quarterback. Great show, which featured Patrick Mahomes, Kirk Cousins, and Marcus Mariota. Well, this summer, July 10th, Netflix has Receiver coming to the streaming service. And I have seen the official trailer, and it looks awesome.
Yeah.
Have you guys had the chance to watch it? And if you have not, what are you hoping to see in this upcoming series? Do you want it to be different than quarterback? Obviously, it's a different position.
Oh, it's going to be
a
different.
few more players.
Yeah, it's automatically going to be different. Are you kidding
Probably
me?
going to
Those
be all about
receivers?
them.
Do you like the structure?
I've seen the trailer. Have you seen the trailer?
No.
It's,
I haven't.
It's exactly what you'd expect it to be from certain players that are in this thing. And then there's the flip side of where, for a couple of the other guys, I'm like, wow, I didn't know that. Like, I was kind of taken a little bit off guard by some of the guys that I thought would be a little more me that are not. They're better team guys, you know?
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be interesting because, Carey, and you would know better than everybody. My outsider's perspective is that the wide receivers, how do I say this?
Only see themselves?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So I always say they're like
Traditionally.
7-Eleven, always open.
Traditionally.
And they like themselves and they like the show and, you know.
Not all of them. I mean, you do run into some of those guys. I don't think Hines Ward was that guy. I think
Fitzgerald
Hines,
probably
Larry
not.
Fitzgerald probably not. I think those guys were team guys. But you do have some that come off as, and I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing either. I think to have that persona, that type of personality where you're dialed into me and what I need to do to be successful, and me having success ultimately helps our team have success. I kind of like it. I wish I had an ability to have more of that. Because, you know, those guys are, it's pretty. When you watch them in live, you've seen some of those guys in hockey. Watching them in person, it's like, dude, you're so unaware. It's blissful. Like the fact that you haven't walked out and gotten hit by a bus because you're just that unaware of everything going on around you.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And so to see it in real time is interesting, to say the least.
Do we know who the receivers are?
Yes, so we have Justin Jefferson, Devontae Adams, George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, and Amon-Ra St. Brown.
I think that's a really good list.
It is.
It's a good group. I wouldn't think any of those guys would be kind of me. George Kittle, though, is, relatively speaking,
He's a tight end.
he is a tight end.
Does he catch the ball,
But hold
Carey?
on, he's in your book.
No.
He's a receiver.
No.
Yeah,
He's a tight
he
end.
is.
You're thinking of
No.
Kelsey.
thought they were all receivers now.
George Kittle's a hell of a blocker. No,
Right?
don't you twist my words around. And
I have to say, I've
me.
been with Anthony for a number of years, and he's always said that George Kittle was more of a tight end than Travis Kelce.
But he's on the show called Receiver,
Thank
so
you.
therefore he's...
And Anthony knows tight ends.
He does, actually. Okay. I apologize. Continue, sir.
Go ahead, Anthony. Tell him.
Marsh, what else you got?
Oh, Anthony, I don't know if you're going to like what I'm about to bring up.
Oh, man.
Today, the
can't even
Atlanta
do this
Falcons were docked a 5th-round pick in the 2025 draft and fined $250,000 for violating the NFL's anti-tampering policy related to free agent signings. That includes Kirk Cousins. I think I brought this up a couple months ago, and you spat in my face.
How does a team in the NFL do this, by the way?
Timeout. What did I spit in your face about?
I said the Falcons were cheating, and they're probably going to lose draft picks. And you're like, nah.
What you said after sharing a tweet about how the Falcons looked at the Penix drafting as, hey, we know we're going to lose picks in the future. Why don't we go ahead and take our quarterback now? I thought that was laughable.
I also brought this up long ago.
Yeah, I do remember that.
I did bring it up. I don't know if it was on
before
air.
the draft. No,
It was before
I
the
do
draft.
recall that.
And I said they weren't going
And
to
I don't know what you said, but
No,
I do
you probably
remember.
said it in jest. Like it
Yeah,
wasn't.
I don't remember
Like,
what-
no, it's not
gotcha.
happening. You were just, we were bantering.
Here's what I think, Marsh. I think that they should have been docked more for actually tampering to get Darnell Mooney and Charlie Warner.
A first-round pick? You
Yes.
just take that away from you.
You couldn't wait.
Because those two were...
You had to have Darnell Mooney and Charlie Warner. Like Cousins, okay, I get that
Guys,
one.
I got a question here for you two in particular. Marcia, you may know. How do you get busted for tampering?
That's a very good
How are
question.
you this dumb?
Because Cousins basically admitted it.
Oh, he did say it. Yeah.
What did he
I think
say?
that's when I brought it
At
up.
his press conference, he basically said, "Yeah, I've been in contact with a couple other guys, Darnell Mooney. I'm real excited about." Whoa. Because you're not supposed to do that. So he did it. So Cousins continues to be a
Is this why
problem
they drafted
for
Penix?
the Falcons.
They're getting back at him.
They should.
This
guy's an idiot.
This guy
What do we
continues
do?
to be an issue. He held the Minnesota Vikings.
continues to be an
He
issue.
continues to be a problem.
He's a good quarterback.
he's
What
a-
do you say? I've literally
He
never
held
heard.
poor Marshy's Vikings hostage for
You
years.
talk about his football play, not
For years,
not
he
his-
held them
not his
hostage
personality.
We don't
with
know.
his
All right.
with his high demands in the salary. Used whatever leverage he had against the poor Vikings, and now he's got the same
So now the
leverage
Vikings
on the
are-
Falcons.
are the poor people?
So now he's holding the Falcons hostage while also simultaneously punishing them by admitting that he was the one that tampered. Quite frankly, I think he should be suspended without pay, salary cap return to the Falcons for the next 2 years.
That's what you would like.
Yep.
Send them back to
Yes, I
Minnesota.
would.
Sam Darnold is their starter, so you
Yeah.
know.
I think Sam Darnold's going to be just
You
fine.
are
my.
just
Probably.
lied through your teeth.
I actually with Marsh on this.
Have you watched
Of
Sam
course you
Darnold
are.
play
Sam
football?
Darnold was on a terrible football team for half of his career,
Yes, he
then
was.
went to a good football
Looked
team.
pretty good for that series.
He looked good for a series.
He did.
I'm sure he learned a lot in San Francisco.
One whole
and he's with
series.
Kevin O'Connell.
He's going to be just
He's a
fine.
great head coach.
He's not.
Yes, he is.
The Vikings will be last place.
I don't disagree with that, Jamie.
Stop.
The Bears probably.
Still probably going to be the
It's not
Bears.
the Bears in the division.
Yeah.
You know what? Even if they are in last place, there's 3 wild card spots, and we're going to have every NFC North team in the playoffs.
Doubt that.
Actually, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
There's no way. There's no way.
Yeah, so anyways, I'm waiting for the NFL to come out with the suspension for Kirk Cousins for, once again, trying to...
I feel like you have something against Kirky.
I don't know what happened there.
I
Something
don't-
happened.
Oh, yeah, I didn't
got
want the
something
Falcons to
against him.
sign him ever, in ever.
What happens if they win the Super Bowl with Kirk Cousins?
He'll be.
I'll
you're
buy-
gonna
a
hate it, aren't you?
Cousins
I'll tell you
jersey.
what. If old Kirky football leads the Falcons even to the Super Bowl, I'm not a jersey guy, all right? I stopped at the jersey thing when I got into radio. I got some good advice on that. They're like, hey, listen, you're done. You're done with the jerseys. So, okay. I will buy a Kirk Cousins jersey. I will wear it for however long you think. Month. Wear it for a
Every
month.
day?
Every day?
No.
Every day I'll wear my Kirk
I don't
Cousins
think we want you to wear it
18 Falcon jersey.
every day for a month.
I'll wash it. Don't worry.
All right. Every night?
Not every night. I mean, I have to wash it every night.
Every
It's
other
not like I'm going to
night?
be working out in it.
You mean, well, you haven't worked out since you lost your iPod Shuffle.
Okay, don't remind me.
Still, you haven't worked out?
Listen, I've been doing things.
I think I know what we can
Just
do.
not in the gym.
Yeah. Yard work doesn't count.
I've been lifting ladders.
We'll
Going
take
old
the
school.
jersey and we'll leave it on your chair, much like a player would go into the locker room and his jersey and uniform, everything is set out for him. That's what we'll do for you.
I like that idea.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll keep
Every
it
day.
clean, keep it
Every day
pressed.
for a month. All
An
right.
entire month.
Is that fine?
That's fine with me.
Okay.
I mean, it's not going to happen, but
Thank you. That's
You guys.
my point.
I hope,
wishful
I hope they
thinking.
do.
No, you don't.
I do. They play the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Game 1.
No, in the Super Bowl, man.
Oh, well, they play them game 1. All right. Now it'll be,
He says the guy.
it'll be our
You know what?
Super Bowl
Yeah.
week 1.
Wow.
Yeah.
now we're living in a fairy tale.
Detroit Lions fan. And when's the last time they've been to the Super Bowl?
Oh, that's what you've got for me?
And ever, Bob?
They haven't.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I wish I could live in the past, too.
We hope you enjoyed your 2019 look back at the Blues yesterday.
Yeah, Carey.
We went Blues Day. Hope you enjoyed it. All right. Have we been over exaggerating the Cardinals' recent stretch? BK had some numbers on it, and it doesn't look too bad. If you go back a certain amount of time. That's next on
always a
101
way.
ESPN. guy BK, Brandon Kiley of BK and Ferrario, tweeted this out. Over the past month for the Cardinals, record 17-10, second best record in the NL, sixth best in Major League Baseball. Then he goes through some of the individual statistics. Second in batting average, fifth in Major League Baseball. They're eighth in Major League Baseball in on-base percentage. Tied for eighth in slugging over that span. OPS plus, they're sixth. Third in the NL in starting pitching ERA. Ninth in Major League Baseball. Seventh in the National League in reliever ERA. Ninth overall in baseball.
Man, they're good.
So over the last month, guys, we have dramatically and just used all kinds of hyperbole to talk about how bad this Cardinals team has been. They haven't been that bad, guys.
What was the date? Do you have the date?
It's over the past month.
So, what, May 12th?
I'm assuming May 12th
Okay.
to June 12th.
All right. I mean, okay. They were 8 games under 500 then, and now they're 2. So
That's a big change, Carey.
That's 6 games.
Yeah, big
6
change.
games better.
If I may,
Yes, go ahead.
isn't that the only stretch that they have played well? It was like
probably
middle of May to the end of May?
Well, that's all they've been able to do so far. They have lots of schedule ahead of them, so
What about the schedule before that?
I don't like to look at that personally.
Oh, okay.
You don't want to do like the March 28th until May 12th?
Talk about the last month.
All right.
If you do talk about the last month, there's those statistics, they're irrefutable.
So, first off, credit to BK. He does a lot of work, and he does provide people with some perspective. This one here, the perspective is on the last month. And, Carey, you're right. Some people like to expand that to the beginning of the season. But in this particular case, in the last month, the Cardinals have been better than what they were originally, which wasn't hard to do.
No.
The problem that I have with what the Cardinals are doing is they had that one spike. Well, what'd they go, 11 and
12
and 3.
12 and 3.
12 and 3 in 15.
In that stretch.
Since then, they've been a middling to less than average team. And this series is a prime example. They come out, they lose, they win, they're winning, they blow a lead, and they might lose this game. It's like the Cardinal way is now just like to be 500.
How numbers are awesome. Not really for me, but they can tell a story when you pick them to tell the story you want to tell. And this is not against anything BK does, but how do you feel when you watch this team in May compared to right now? Do you feel like they're 6 games better, or do you feel like it's the same team?
Yeah, largely the same team. I did feel better. I did feel more optimistic during the
feel like
during the
that
hot
was
run.
a mirage, like you're in the desert and you see the pool of water over there.
No.
You can get to it and you're like, yeah, I've been dying of thirst for so long.
Pool of water,
Look at this water, and then you
That
get
mirage
there.
is different.
And your mirage. I'm sure it is
just a little bit.
Well, the water was still there.
The water was there.
And the people
He
are
had-
people in the water.
he had other
People.
elements too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But
Why pour the water all over me?
you're not going to drink it. You don't need to drink water in the desert.
First, Carey.
Don't ask him that. I don't have enough time. I only got a 4-hour show.
Oh, my God.
No, I did think I admit there was more optimism during that month. But to your question, to your point, Carey, how have you felt in June? Yeah, I pulled some numbers in June.
All right, what you got?
You guys
told him, did
want
you?
them? I
Sure.
did.
Let's do it.
Jamie, you had said, well, they're an average to slightly below average team. In June, they're 5-6. Could be 6-6 after today, or 5-7. That's average or slightly below average. Right. 13th in batting average in June, 23rd in on-base percentage, 19th in OPS. I didn't go through the pitchers' stats. You get the point.
I actually think the pitchers have been fine.
They probably have. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Look at the last 2 performances. Sonny Gray and Miles Michaelis crushed it.
Outstanding. Then today.
Even
Speaking of
Lance.
crushing it.
Even Lance, he.
Brendan Donovan
Donnie?
just touched some seats.
That's my pick today.
No, that was mine.
Well, you guys.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had Goldie.
We didn't play the game today.
We
Sorry.
did.
Yeah, we did.
It's not how that
Didn't
works.
you hear him?
Nope, not how
all
that
went
works.
around?
Nah, I wasn't here.
You got carp.
Don't say that. Last time we did that,
I hope he
somebody hit a
touch
home run.
seats after he gets off the bench
He's
today.
touching seats right now.
He is. What is it? Backside.
He's touching Aussie.
Seat.
Yeah. So Donovan makes it 4-3 Cardinals now. They have 2 home runs on the day. Goldschmidt hit 1. Donovan hit 1. They were up 3-0. The Pirates climbed back to make it 3-3. But now Donovan has made it 4-3. But, I mean, look, this is we've talked about this. This is an average team to a slightly below average team. That's the way we're going to play. They're going to get hot. They're going to get hot at times. They're going to cool off at times. And if you say, well, isn't that the majority of Major League Baseball? Yeah, it is. But depends on how long your streaks are. Good teams have longer winning streaks. Bad teams have longer losing streaks. When you're a team like the Cardinals, you're 500, you're going to go back and forth. That's what they've done.
You know what's crazy to me, and I know we've talked about this before, but never has it been more apparent to me in the last 2 years that the Cardinals and the Blues have been mimicking each other. Like the Blues ended up having to sell off all their parts and finished the lowest they had in a long time. Mm-hmm. Cardinals followed that up by finishing the lowest they had in almost the history of the franchise. Then the Blues this past season, middling, same way, and now the Cardinals are doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been
an emotional roller coaster.
It has been a similar season. There's no question about it. Frustrating overall for the fans. When it comes to approval rating, how far out of touch and behind are the Cardinals after you get done listening to what the Blues did today? We'll talk about it next on 101 ESPN.
Hey guys, the fact that the Blues announced Steen as the future GM should not be a surprise here to us. This team has been transparent of the direction of this organization with the media and the fans, and they proved that once again today. I love the transparency, love knowing that they are not just looking at what's going on the ice, but they're also planning on what's going on with their front office. Well done, Blues.
That was Mike, who left us a mic drop via the 101 ESPN app. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter. 301, your time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. We asked for your mic drops today on the Blues, announcing that Alexander Steen will be the new general manager for the Blues. Now, it's going to take a couple of years. He's going to be like an assistant to the general manager for the first 2 years before transitioning into that GM role. And then Doug Armstrong will transition at that point to the president of hockey operations. He's got both titles right now. In year 3, or going into year 3 for Steen, that's when the transition will officially happen. When I was listening to the presser today for the Blues, Stillman talked, Army talked, Steener talked, and they spoke for about 30 minutes or so. There were several moments listening where I thought to myself, this is one small way that the Blues approval rating with their fan base is currently higher than the Cardinals. If you listen to Stillman, Army, and Steener, they repeated constantly, whatever's best for the Blues. That's best for they answer questions. That's best for the Blues. You brought up the point about Steen being the epitome of somebody who did what's best for the Blues in the Cup run when he moved to the fourth line and made the most of it. Talk about growth mindset, right? Mm-hmm. What's my opportunity now that I'm on the fourth line? Let's make the best of it. And he did. When you listen to the Cardinals talk, it's almost defensive now. At best, it's like somber or cumbersome. And you're like, oh, well, you're not cumbersome, contrite. But you rarely, what's best for the team, what's best for the organization, what's best. Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, maybe I'm nitpicking a little bit here, but I heard that consistently today out of those three gentlemen.
No, you're 100% right. That's why I threw that in our little group chat is the approval rating right now, I think, from St. Louis sports fans overall is substantially higher for the Blues. And I think the reason being is that it feels like the Blues are being more proactive. They're understanding the fan base. They're understanding the information that the fan base requires. And they're also maybe aware that the same person doing the same job for such an extended period of time might start to get stale. Mm-hmm. And maybe they need to shake it up, but not in a, like, Mozeliak Gersh way.
Yeah.
More in a Armstrong Steen way, to where it seems like Alex Steen is going to be taking over as far as the general manager duties. And Army was on BK and Ferrario earlier today, and BK literally asked him to kind of clarify, like, how this is going to work, and alluded to the Cardinals a little bit without going there. And, of course, Army didn't want to get involved with the Cardinals side of things. But here's what Army said about how it's going to look like moving forward for the Blues.
My vision is to what it is. I look at George McPhee in Vegas with Kelly McCrimmon. I look at Jimmy Rutherford with Patrick Allvin in Vancouver. My vision is Alex is going to make the hockey decisions that affect the team on a day-to-day basis, trades, signings. What I want to do as president of hockey operations is share my experience. Work with him, making sure that we're doing the right thing for the franchise. And I think that ultimately someone's going to have to make a decision. It will be up to Alex to make those decisions. But over my years of working with different people, that you usually are on the same page when you get down to that if you vet it correctly. But it's not going to be. This isn't I'm not sure how baseball works. I don't want to get into baseball, but in hockey, he's going to be the manager. He's going to be doing the press conference. He's going to be making those decisions. And my job is I'm going to support the scouting staff. I'm going to support Alex. I'm going to support the ownership group. But I do see this as a weighted system where if I do my job well and Alexander does his job well, I'll be less and less relevant as he gets more and more experience.
So that last part's really important for me is you look at some of the successful franchises, and he brought up a couple. When he talked about George McPhee and Kelly McCrimmon, that's the Vegas Golden Knights. Jim Rutherford and those guys. Like, those guys are having success right now. Vancouver had great success in the last season and a half, and they hired the right coach. One that gets overlooked, too, is in Boston. Cam Neely is the president of hockey operations, but Don Sweeney is a GM. I think the best way to have this set up is where Doug Armstrong is the guy that's behind the curtain. Like, you see him and whatnot, but you don't hear from him in particular. You don't. He's not at the press conference. He's not talking to the radio stations. Alex Steen is that guy. And then when they get behind closed doors, just like any good business, this is why it's always been important for me to have the pecking order. When one guy occupies both titles, and Army's done a fantastic job. This is not a criticism, but it's always good to have layers of opinion and layers of responsibility. So now if Alex Steen thinks strongly about making a trade or signing a player, he also has to run it up the food chain through Army. And then if Army doesn't like it, then they'll have healthy conversations, and Alex Steen will have to prove to Army why it's a good move, and vice versa, too. If Army has a feeling, he's going to have to sell that to Alex Steen. And you guys know this. Even we have our own show meetings and things we do. Like, when there's a process of everybody getting together and then ultimately ending up on the same page, that's when you have the best version of what you can be as a company or as a hockey team in this matter. And I like it.
One thing that I heard him say is, speaking of Army, he said, I'll be less relevant, less in the face of things as he gains more experience. So basically telling you, this is his job. I'm here to, tutor, mentor, and show him the ropes. And as he's gaining more experience, these decisions will become Steen's. They won't be my own. They won't be my decisions anymore. And again, I think when you're going through a transition, that feels like the best way to go about it. You mentioned it. Those decisions as he's learning on the fly how to have conversations with GMs and what I want to do. What are you looking for? What am I looking for? How to go about, the drafting process and what exactly it is we need and how to evaluate those players and all of the other things that come with it. To have someone there in an assistant role as you're learning, I think that's the best thing you can ask for.
Yeah, I completely agree, guys. Going back to the conversation that we were having in the first hour, I just think it's vital that you get some on-the-job training. There are, and Jamie, you brought up a really good point, and Army echoed that at the press conference today. As far as the player evaluation aspect of the job, Steen's got it. He knows he was a part of the 2019 team. He learned a lot there of what it took to build a winning hockey team. But as Steen mentioned, I was a part of other teams that we thought that was built and built and built up that fell short. So he's got a lot of experience from that standpoint. But everything else, the stuff that we don't know about, that is what he's going to learn over the next 2+ years. And I think that on-the-job training is going to be fantastic. And over time, he'll develop his own way, his own style.
Oh, yeah.
But we're just going to have to be patient with that. Not Cardinals patient where it never happens, just actual patience.
Well, and speaking of be patient, Anthony, the flip side of this for St. Louis sports fans is, look, Army has the press conferences. He lets the fan base know what the direction of the team is going to be. He talks about making trades and the vision. There's already an enormous part of St. Louis people that were like, well, at least the Blues are telling us what they do. If you're the Cardinals now and you're watching the Blues win the fan base, let's just say that. And I know that the Cardinal fans, there's much more baseball fans, and this is a baseball city. I get it. But if you were looking at, like I said before, the approval rating, if you're the Cardinals, do you feel like you have to do something here soon?
I don't think they're aware. I don't think they're aware enough to think that way.
If they're not aware, is that a problem?
Yeah. I don't think they're awhere enough, Carey.
I think
they
the
just
Cardinals
don't care,
think
maybe.
We're the Cardinals. Why the hell do we have to do anything?
Right.
That's that's what I get from it. No, why? I talked to you all about, I went to the game yesterday. We're looking at the empty seats.
Well, how about there's a slew of empty green seats?
I mean, who you can just move people down there, can't you? Can't you just let them go down there? So at least on TV it looks like it's full. But either way, Went to the game yesterday, and
They got to still have those cardboard cutouts somewhere.
yeah, probably.
Got ours in the office.
Hey, put those in. And just going to the game, I got there a little bit late. Game started at 6:45, rolled in about 7, and literally was able to just drive straight down Clark, turn, make a left, turn into Ballpark Village, found parking. That's not something I'm accustomed to being a lifelong Cardinals fan. I am used to people being outside, it being packed. No matter what day of the traffic, no matter what day of the week it is. And I feel like it has slowed down just steadily year after year after year. And they're at a point now where nobody wants to see bad baseball or see a team that they don't feel is competitive. But also, it doesn't feel like, to me, the Cardinals are saying, we'll fix it, or we won't. You'll still show up. What difference does it make?
Right.
And that, to me, is the most frustrating part.
We got a text here from 314. It says, can we not pit our own teams against each other? I don't think we are.
We're not pitting each other.
We're not pitting them against each other. To me, it looks just like a big difference in philosophy on how you're going to run your team and how you're going to communicate with your fan base.
Right.
I mean, how many Cardinals fans are still pissed off that they didn't have their end-of-the-year presser last year?
Yeah.
I know they're not obligated to do it, but there is a certain responsibility that comes with being a franchise where people spend a whole lot of money to go see your product.
Sure it does, yeah. And look, I get those, I understand those texts. I understand those types of texts. Like, why do we have to compare? Why, I think some Cardinals fans feel as though the Blues are getting a free pass consistently, at least from us or this show. Okay. For every person that is arguing that side of it, or arguing hey, we've had so much success with the Cardinals, you're just greedy now, or you're whatever, spoiled. There are probably, what would you guys say? For every one of those Cardinals fans that are like, we've had so much success, stop complaining, how many do you think are ticked off in comparison?
Oh, wow.
Is it like 5 to 1?
The ratio?
Yeah.
So it would be like 1 to 5 for me. Yeah.
That's what I think. Now, granted, we're dealing with...
We get a lot of the hot-tempered people on a daily basis because that's what they want.
Sure.
And sometimes it's hard to tell if the majority is upset or the upset is just more vocal.
The vocal minority, yeah. I don't think in this case it is the vocal minority. And I'll tell you why. Carey just mentioned it. Look at the stadium. This is not new, by the way.
No.
This has been trending this way for a while now. And COVID did not help.
Well, no.
Not at all.
It did not help businesses that operate in the manner that the Cardinals do, or any other company where you have to kind of show up to show that you're interested in the product. I know there's TV ratings and all that, but this has been trending this way for a couple of years now. It started off slow, and now I think we're starting to reach a crescendo here. It's the summer. That stadium has been packed before. I know it's the Pirates in town and all that crap. That's empty.
What was the attendance for the Paul Skeens game? Just out of curiosity.
Oh, they probably sold out from a ticket standpoint.
But I'm just no. Okay, I understand.
You know what I mean? I don't know. Paid attendance obviously is different.
I'm just curious as to if Cardinals fans or even casual baseball fans are showing up for good baseball, and maybe that goes right back to the core of the problem, is that the Cardinals haven't been able to consistently play good baseball, but people will show up for it. To your point, maybe that's why it's been declining, is the Cardinals have just kind of been middling for the last number of years.
Jamie, you run several companies. If I don't feel like I need your product, I mean need, not want. I need that product. You're not going to do well. I don't need to go to a Cardinals game right now. I don't need to catch them. I don't need to be a part of that experience right now, which is average baseball. And I think a lot of people feel that way.
Superstars put butts in seats.
Winning.
Well,
I think it's winning. Now, if you add a superstar, it doesn't hurt.
If this team were winning, you might, maybe. But if you had this team winning with Mike Trout, you would have more butts in seats.
He's hurt.
I'm just saying a healthy Mike Trout. Yeah.
I got you.
A healthy Shohei. What is he? I mean, he's not.
He hasn't won anything.
Nope.
But if he were winning and you have a superstar, like I think when Goldie and Arenado got here, people were, we got to go see those guys.
Yeah.
And maybe the excitement has kind of worn
Waned,
off
yeah.
on those
The lack
two
of
guys.
success
And
under
the
those
lack of
guys,
success.
too.
So, if you have a superstar or superstars and you're winning, if Paul Skeens is your ace, people are going to show up for sure on that day. So I think we talked about it yesterday. I think the Cardinals have missed the boat on that part. Just finding the superstar players that people want to see. This isn't you can't just have a bunch of guys out there that people are, oh, those are good players. That's a good player. Juan Soto would have put butts in seats.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I think that's the part that the Cardinals have been missing for the past few years.
Yeah, but they can't go get those guys without the butts in the seats, Carey.
Oh,
You heard him.
Jamie, stop it. It's not
I
true.
didn't
He didn't say it.
I didn't say
But it's
it.
not true, even though
He's
said
just
it.
echoing.
Don't yell at
That's
me.
not true.
He's just echoing what the Cardinals are telling us.
Because all they do is take money that they get and spend it on payroll, right? Yep.
It's directly right to payroll. That's
Nothing
it.
else. They're not making any money.
No.
Nothing else.
Bad business.
No money's being made. Actually, we're hemorrhaging money over here. Yeah, we need more
At a
people.
historical rate.
Yeah. I doubt it.
Okay, slow
doubt it.
down. Hot take or hot garbage is next. If you have a hot take or hot garbage statement that you want to tell us about or send into the Air Comfort Service text line, excellent. Send it into 314-399-9646. We'll play hot take or hot garbage next. Hot take. We're going to play Hot Take or Hot Garbage in a second here on 101 ESPN with Carey Davis and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. But we got some UFL championship tickets to give away. That's right. We have your chance right now to score a pair of tickets to the United Football Championship game this Sunday at the Dome at America Center. It's history in the making. Birmingham Stallions, San Antonio Brahmas face off to crown the first ever UFL champion this Sunday at the Dome. Tickets are now on sale, or you can text in to win free tickets at 314-399-9646. Get all the ticket info and find a bonus chance to register to win tickets for this Sunday's UFL Championship game at 101 ESPN. We talked to Alexander Steen earlier in the show. He's going to be the former GM. Or I'm sorry, he's going to be the future GM.
You're already firing?
Different F.
Sorry,
Well, you know
Steen.
what? I mean, come on. Do something, Steen.
Seriously.
What's he been the GM now for about 8 hours or so?
He hasn't even really been the GM yet.
It's time to get working, is what I'm saying.
Very tough.
Yeah, very tough. Who did the Blues acquire with Steen? Nope, hand down.
Damn.
Who did the Blues acquire with Steen when they made that deal in 08 to get him from the Leafs?
It was absolute robbery by Armstrong, too. Is that robbery? Actually, I think it's Larry Plow that was still in charge of the site. Just robbery.
Either way. So who is it? Text in 314-399-9646. That's the Air Comfort Service text line. You go see the UFL Championship game this Sunday. All right, Marsh, what do you got for Hot Take or Hot Garbage?
All right, let's start off with Grant Francis fan club. Hot take, no NHL team is more well-run than the Blues. Some might be tied with them. Is that hot take or hot garbage?
I mean, it's certainly not hot garbage. I'd have to say hot take. When you take into consideration all of the varying levels of what the Blues have, starting at ownership, I mean, there are owners with deeper pockets, certainly, than the current ownership group. But the ownership group here in St. Louis, they've spent to the cap. They've gone above and beyond to provide the team with a chance to win and the fans with an opportunity to hopefully watch winning hockey. They also petitioned to get upgrades and renovations done to the Enterprise Center. They do a lot of things in the community. The team has been... up until the last 2 seasons, the team had been successful for an extended period of time. I'd like to think that they're right there. Like some of the things, I guess the only thing that people look at is maybe that there's teams that spend more money overall on lots of different things. But as far as the team being run properly and the players being cared for and the fans being acknowledged, I think the Blues are right there.
This next one comes from the Waterboy. Hot take or hot garbage? We need a sports talk host documentary.
Oh, wow. Involving us?
Maybe in Jamie's life it'd be okay, but I don't think we would gain a lot of eyeballs.
You don't know. You never know.
Is it Netflix or something like that? Probably HBO.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm in. I don't care.
I'm in too.
Buckle up.
Anthony. Let's make it happen. Documentary.
All right, I'll document you guys' life.
That's not what we want.
Maybe wait till my kids are a little older.
Just rip the Band-Aid off.
Can understand things better.
Actually, it's worse if they understand.
That's true. Yeah, you knew about that. I was 4. You still know?
This next one comes from the 314. Hot take or hot garbage? The Cards should trade Paul Goldschmidt and Nolan Arenado for outfielders who can play every day and put Burleson at first or Walker or Gordon at third. Gorman. I don't know who Alex Gordon can play
Jeff
third base.
Gordon. He's been retired for a while. Didn't play baseball.
Yeah. And never look back.
I don't think it's hot garbage, but since that's my only choice, hot garbage, I'm good trading them, but for pitching.
Oh, you don't want everyday outfielders?
I would like everyday outfielders, but
Instead of guys that aren't out there every day?
I want the most impactful position in baseball, which is starting pitchers.
Yeah, but those guys get hurt all the time, Anthony. then you need outfielders to come and pitch like Alec Burleson. What are you? Follow me on this now.
Okay.
I'm trying to get you to understand the importance of the outfielders because they also can do what, Jamie? Play the infield.
Yeah,
So you're
can.
not only getting an outfielder, you're getting an infielder and potentially a pitcher. What more do you want? There you go.
The way
Done.
you put it that way. Hot take. It's a good call. Yeah. I always thought your infielders turned into outfielders.
Well, we're going to flip it around
flip
and
it
put
around.
the outfielders in. I mean, Brendan Donovan is essentially an outfielder now.
Yeah.
But he can play infield. Tommy Edman is essentially an outfielder now, but he can play infield. You're talking about Jordan Walker moving to the infield from the outfield. Now, he started in the infield and went. It's confusing, but just stay with me. This is, the more you can do is a term that we used in the NFL. The more you can do. You can play multiple positions, you can play forever.
Okay.
Now, the guys that usually play one position are getting paid a lot of money, and the guys that play multiple, they don't get paid as much. But
They usually play that one position great.
yeah, just outfielders. Let's go with that.
From the
I know these
618. This is an interesting one. Hot take or hot garbage? The Cards winning in 06 and 11 are what have caused front office / ownership to focus on only making playoff caliber rosters. The failure of 04-05 teams really hurt our chances of seeing a World Series caliber roster again while DeWitt's owned the team.
I think there's some truth in that. I'll go hot take. I think that's a really unique way to look at it. I don't know if it's 100% true, but I like that take a lot. I think there is some truth to that. Yeah, you watch the 06 team win and then the 11 team win, you're like,
We don't need to do much.
yeah. Let Albert walk, still got to the World Series. In what, 2014? I always say 2013.
It was 2013.
It was 2013.
Yeah.
Did I say 14 before? Remember I flipped that the one year. Yeah, prove me wrong.
They went to the NLCS 3 years in a row after the 2012, 2013, 2014, but they did go to the World Series in 2013.
2013. Maybe I said 14. Anyways, if you watch those teams, you're like, we don't have to build the best team.
Just a team.
And then when teams like the stupid Diamondbacks get to the World Series without doing much, that just, reconfirms things for you.
Yep.
So I'll go with hot take there.
All right, last one here from Hockey Bob. Hot take or hot garbage? The Blues will be a playoff team next season and a cup contender in 3 years.
I'll go hot take on that. The Blues were really close this year to getting in the playoffs. And, yeah, they messed it up. They controlled their own destiny and didn't beat the teams that they should have beaten. Otherwise, they would have made the playoffs. And in 3 years to be a contender, it's not that crazy to think about that. If Dvorsky and Snuggerud and Bolduc and all these guys kind of hit their stride, you will see Steen and Army go and add to this group. They will go sign or trade for pieces that make this group better. Your goaltending is still going to be elite at that point. Your defensive core will have to improve, and I think that they're going to address that. Let's not forget about all those young Swedish defensemen that Steener's been scouting and the Blues have been drafting here. Those guys as well. We don't talk about them being a huge part of the process here because we don't know enough about them. But don't be mistaken, those guys will be a huge part of this team transitioning out of the phase that they're in now.
Very true. All right, it's Fastline on 101 ESPN. It's the biggest stage, been the biggest disappointment for this NBA star. We'll get into that next on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Blues announced today that Doug Armstrong has signed a 3-year contract extension to continue leading the club as president of hockey operations through the 2028-2029 season. The club has also named Alexander Steen as special assistant to the general manager through the 2025-2026 season, after which he will be appointed as the 12th general manager in franchise history. We talked earlier today with Alexander Steen. If you missed that interview, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free 101 mobile app. You can find all of our interviews and full shows there, and it's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. The Cardinals currently lead the Pirates in the bottom of the 8th inning. We'll continue talking about the Cardinals throughout the remainder of the show and giving you updates. But coming up next, we're going to dive into what has transpired in the NBA Finals. We'll also cross it over with what's going on in the Stanley Cup as well. That's coming your way next right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
The Dallas Mavs are facing history and elimination following their loss again last night to the Celtics. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Luka Doncic, 11 of 27 from the field, 4 of 4 from the foul line. He scored 27 points, grabbed 6 boards, had 6 assists, 1 steal, and 1 3-pointer in 38 minutes. He was 1 of 7 from deep, and he spent the majority of the night before fouling out late in the fourth quarter. Fourth quarter. I got hockey going on. I got baseball. Late in the fourth quarter, complaining to the refs. I mean, he was constantly complaining about the officiating last night. Has the moment and the stage, is it too big right now for Luka Doncic?
I don't know if it's too big. I think he's a superstar. He does do a lot of complaining. Those things, he does that during the season as well. And what it does is if you're complaining to the refs, you're not getting back on defense, you're complaining about a foul not called on you, your team is 4 on 5 most times. So that's a part of it. And then being in foul trouble, a couple of the fouls were just dumb fouls that you can't have. When you are the star of your team, you can't foul out of a NBA Finals game. You cannot. And not that the referees are going to make sure you don't foul out, but they're going to. They know, they understand. And so, but if you're committing dumb fouls and making dumb mistakes, there's no help for you. So to foul out of the game, to be down 0-3, lose that game in Dallas, where I think they were favored by 1.5 points going into that game. They went on I think it was a 20-2 run, 21-2 run, where they were able to get back into that game in the fourth quarter and made it close, and then they just were unable to close it out. It's hard to watch this Dallas team because they have been a really good team all year, but I said it a couple of days ago, it feels like the Celtics just have so much more. They have so much more help. They've had a different leading scorer in every game so far of this finals, and it's going to be hard to beat them. They probably will sweep the Mavs just based on how they look right now.
So there's a lot of things that are crossing over right now between the NHL and the NBA when it comes to the finals. But if you haven't heard this breakdown from ESPN, and Marsh, help me with the...
Brian Windhorst.
Okay, what's his name?
Brian Windhorst. He was on with SVP on Sports Center.
Following the game last night. And this is about the, I don't know. He absolutely demolishes Luka with these comments. But here's what he had to say about Luka's performance, Doncic's performance in Game 3.
Yeah, I thought it was perfect that Luka fell onto the ground there in an unacceptable position to put himself in with 4 minutes left with 5 fouls, and then immediately looks at the bench and says, you better bleeping challenge it, as if it's the bench's fault that he just made a terrible play. I'm standing here in the Mavericks tunnel. Over there is the Celtics tunnel. That's where the winners are. If Luka's ever going to be a winner coming out of this tunnel here, he is going to have to use what's happened in this finals as a learning experience. His defensive performance is unacceptable. He is a hole on the court. The Celtics are attacking him. They are ahead in this series because they have attacked him defensively. And you've got a situation here where Luka is complaining about the officiating. They have begged him. They have talked with him. They have pleaded with him. He is costing his team because of how he treats the officials. He's a brilliant player. He does so many things well. They are here because of how he did. His performance in this game is unacceptable and the reason why the Mavericks are not going to win.
So that's certainly not part of a pump-up speech. I think that credit to him. He was being brutally honest about the situation. But listening to that and then listening to what you said, Carey, about the depth of the Celtics and whatnot, it brought me right back to the NHL Stanley Cup final right now. Because, in my opinion, Kyrie and Luka brought the Mavs to the final. Mm-hmm. I could be wrong. I mean, I know there's some accent pieces, but those two guys are like the stars. Whereas the Celtics, yes, you have Jason Tatum, but it's proving to be that the Celtics roster is just deeper overall. And it reminded me of what's going on with the Panthers and the Oilers. Mm-hmm. McDavid and Draisaitl have drugged the Oilers to the Stanley Cup final. But now with things not going their way, is it now about the depth? Is that really the best way to go? Because we talk about the superstars all the time.
Right.
And it's funny how both of these finals are mirroring each other to a certain extent right now. And you got the superstars that we'll see tonight what happens in Edmonton. But as far as I'm concerned, the Mavericks are done. Like, that series is over. Yeah. Even if they win a game, the series is over. So I don't know, just interesting crossover there.
Yeah, I find it interesting as well because you see a guy like Luka who is a very popular player in the league. And I think a lot of kids growing up want to sort of emulate their game like him. Like, he looks like a guy that drinks 10 beers and then goes and plays basketball. Right. Like, not saying kids want to do that, of course, don't do that. But, he's a popular player. And for him to be complaining and doing all these things, it's kind of a turnoff. And then
it's distracting for his team.
It is. And then I look at game 2 and what the Oilers were doing at the end of the game, and I'm like, that's not your game. Like, what are you doing? That's not what I came to watch.
Yeah.
I want to see the skill. I want to see you guys be able to make this a series. I want to see the best player be the best player in the world and on the biggest stage. And I'm not seeing that. And it's bothersome.
Yeah, it is. It's unfortunate because this should have been both series, both the Stanley Cup final and the NBA Finals. It should have been a showcase of star power, depth, all of that. And instead, what we've gotten is just a thumping in both cases. You called the one, Jamie. Panthers in 3.
Wow, that means they'll win it tonight if it's going that way.
Yeah.
See, just don't even worry about it.
The cup is in the building. For the first time in history, a team has a chance to win the Stanley Cup by winning 3 games.
Now, it was delayed. It was delayed getting there, but yeah. But no, it's been an unfortunate final for both final and finals.
I honestly thought that Dallas would have more pushback than they're having right now. It's just when your best player, and there are some injuries that Luka is kind of grinding through, knee injury. He had a chest contusion. He's battling, right? But you're here. Mm-hmm. Hey, man, whatever you got to do to play to numb the pain and make it go away, you do it. You don't get opportunities to play in the finals every single year. You may not ever have another opportunity to play in the finals. And to not perform at the best level, we've talked about this. The first game, he only had 1 assist. The second game, he had 8 turnovers. This game, he fouled out and was complaining to the referee. It's all on you, and that is a lot of pressure. Jason Tatum went through this a couple of years ago when they lost to the Warriors. There's a lot of pressure associated with being a star and playing in the NBA Finals or playing in a championship game, Super Bowl, Stanley Cup Finals, Stanley Cup Final. There is a lot of pressure on that player in that situation. But damn it, so what? You're getting paid to be that player. You're getting paid to rise to those occasions. And if the Dallas Mavericks, no one has ever come back from 0-3 in the NBA playoffs. If they have any opportunity, it's going to be with him being a facilitator, scoring when he can. And like Wendy said, maybe play a little bit of defense, move your feet just a little bit, stay in front of the guy, hands up, if you can. If not, don't foul him. Just don't foul him. Let him go by and, try to get there as best as you can.
Yep.
I think that's the answer to this text from the 573. Game 1, 30-point double-double. Game 2, 30-point triple-double. Game 3, 27 points. After one game, we want to say the lights are too bright. LOLK. I don't think it comes down to that. I think it comes down to his defense.
This is why numbers don't matter. That's why I keep saying it. They don't matter. You can score 50 and you lose. Good job. Mm-hmm. Everyone, you did a great job. You scored 50 points.
Still lost.
You lost. You're not playing good enough defense. You're not assisting. Luka Doncic is a triple-double magnet. Again, yes, game 2. But he also, he could have had a quadruple-double if you add in the damn turnovers. Like, don't pinpoint the numbers that make you feel good because it makes you feel good. The entire game is based on more than just scoring points. And Luka can score points with the best of them. Now, if I'm scoring 30 and I give up 30, what difference does it make? We're not gaining an advantage there. And that's essentially what they're doing. They are not gaining an advantage. They are losing games. And your best player, although scoring like the best player, because it's pretty damn hard to stop an NBA player that is a scorer, he's going to get his points. What else are you doing? Got to do more.
What are the Mavs down?
3.
Yeah. No, he's in a nice series.
Yeah,
it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Will we see a cup window for the Blues before the end of the 2028-29 season? That's next on 101 ESPN. Auto Center's Nissan Herculaneum still has massive price discounts of up to $20,000 off with no payments for 3 months and no down payments available on select new and used inventory right now. All current Nissan specials and incentives are eligible for any hail-affected new Nissan out at Auto Center's Nissan Herculaneum, so you could stack up the discounts and save thousands all at the same time. Select new Nissan vehicles are available at 0% APR for up to 60 months, and as always, at Auto Center's Nissan Herculaneum, 30-day new car return promise within 30 days. If you're not completely in love with the vehicle or the sales process, bring the vehicle back. They will refund your money, and they'll set you up with something else that you're looking for. Complimentary lifetime warranty on new Nissans and eligible used vehicles, and a complimentary 1-year maintenance on new Nissan purchases. It's all available at Auto Center's Nissan. By the way, one location. They've got over 700 vehicles and financing options for everyone. Visit them online at autocentersnissan.com. Check them out in Herculaneum. Tell them Stalter sent you. It's Auto Centers Nissan.
time for some high heat with BT on 101 ESPN. Inside and high.
Powered by Scott Lee Heating Company, your preferred Mitsubishi Electric Elite contractor. Visit ScottLeeHeating.com.
There's no excuse for Thompson throwing at the head of right.
Take down the Pirates 4-3. Joining us right now is our World Series champion, Brad Thompson, who was on the call at Busch Stadium today via our 101 ESPN app. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, I'm Anthony Stalter. BT, good win today. How are you, buddy?
Fellas, I'm doing great. You talk about timing, too. I mean, final out, get a call from Marshy Marsh right afterwards. I mean, things are all coming up roses right now.
There's a lot to love about your life, BT. The last two things that you mentioned, probably at the top, my man.
No doubt. No, that was fun, man. That was a much-needed victory. Look, we knew coming into this homestand that there was an opportunity. The Rockies had not been playing good baseball, and you have to salvage a split against them, and then you take 2 of 3, though, from the Pirates. Your starting pitching overall was very good. Lance Lynn labored in his final inning on this one, but the bullpen stepped up. Just a much-needed series victory and much-needed homestand victory.
Hey, BT, how big was it that Roycroft, Liberatore continues to look fantastic out of the pen, Ryan Fernandez, and then it was Kittredge in the 9th inning with Helsey not being available. How big was it for guys like Fernandez and Liberatore to pitch at the back end of the game, get a little bit of that experience?
Yeah, just big outs for all of them. I mean, because, and I think you're absolutely right. Look, you're going to need, and we've talked about this a lot, you're going to need a lot more than just the big 3 of Helsley, Kittredge, JoJo. You're going to need others to step up, and that's exactly what they did. I've been so impressed with what Roycroft has been able to bring. I mean, this is a guy, Chris is throwing 97, 98, good slider, and has the poise. Fernandez, who picked up a hold in this one as well, and Roycroft, by the way, gets his first major league victory, so congratulations to him with his 2/3 of an inning. Fernandez looks like a veteran out there. Looks like he's been doing it for years. He's a Rule 5 pick. And Matthew Liberatore has found himself a home out in the bullpen. So these guys stepped up into a big role. Every game for the Cardinals, it feels like a tight one. I mean, every game has been so close. You need others to step up, and that's exactly what they've done.
BT, in the last little while here, it looks like, at least for Nolan Arenado, it's starting to pick up. He's starting to get bat on ball a little better. Obviously, last night was a great performance. The game before, he gets hit on the hand tonight there at the end of the game, which kind of stunk. But what are you seeing from him here offensively?
Well, first of all, fingers crossed that everything comes out okay with him getting hit in the hand. Didn't see him after that. We'll get more word afterwards. After the game, as the post-game show goes on. Hopefully it's a good word on Nolan Arenado. But what I've been seeing the last couple of days is the guy that just looks comfortable in the box. Like, it doesn't look like he's in between. He doesn't appear to be. There were times this season, guys, where it kind of just looked like he was guessing up there and really battling himself not only physically but mentally. Right now, he's just going to get it. He's being aggressive. He appears to just be reacting. See it, hit it. I was watching him take some BP on the field. It was an optional BP day. A couple of guys were out there yesterday, and he was just launching baseballs left and right. Like, he's just starting to feel it again. So you hope that ball that rode in on his hands didn't end up catching him badly. But it was it's such a difference maker when he is doing things like that. And it's obviously a difference maker when Goldie hits the ball out of the ballpark. You need slug out of the middle of your order, and those are your guys.
PT, how much do you think the defense and offense go hand in hand for Nolan Arenado? Because, you know, he's a guy that I think can kind of dome himself up a little bit. But in the last couple of games, you're watching him execute at the plate, and then you're also watching him deliver some absolute gems defensively. And I'm just wondering how much those two are interlocked.
Yeah, Jamie, I think it's fair. I think that he is a guy that rides the waves a little bit. I think that he is a guy that the highs are high and the lows can be low. And whether it could be a subconscious thing, I'm sure that it is. It's not like he goes out of the field sometimes and doesn't try to make these spectacular plays. But when you have momentum, when you're hitting the ball well, when you're doing things well, it translates to every part of your game. So, yeah, those two things have gone hand in hand. How about him in this series, too, taking extra bases, like being aggressive on the base pass, really just busting out of the box. that's been a lot of fun to see, and hopefully it continues for him.
BT, I want to take you back a couple of days ago. You had the rookie phenom Paul Skeens getting his first opportunity in Busch Stadium. You had Miles Michaelis saying, "Hold on, young fella, let me show you a thing or two," taking a no-hitter into the seventh inning. What, as a former pitcher, I know you had to be geeking out just a little bit watching those two guys go out there and do their thing.
Arguably the best game of the season at Busch Stadium. I mean, that was fun to watch. And I love, to your point, Carey, I love dominant pitching, obviously, because I was never one. It's fun to watch them. So when you see two guys go at it in the different styles, Skeens is blowing 99, 100 miles an hour. His average fastball is 99.4. That's the highest among all starters. He's got the nasty sweeper. He does it all. Like, the kid is special. There's a reason that he was 1-1 overall. There's a reason that he only had 12 starts in the minor leagues, and he will likely never go back. But then you have the veteran in Miles Michaelis, who, you look back at his last 6 starts, he has found something. The ball is moving like crazy. He's getting that weak contact. He's landing his off speed. So to watch two pitchers go head-to-head and do so in contrasting styles, that is so much fun. Like, that's what it's all about, is figuring out ways to best use your arsenal, and both of them look fantastic, and we're going to get a chance to see Skeens for years on end. I don't know what the easiest way to figure him out. I think the Cardinals took some good at-bats, but, boy, he's going to be tough for a long time.
Brad Thompson joining us right now on the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. BT, no Ivan Herrera in the lineup today. His bat plays, there's no doubt about it. You saw it last night. How do the Cardinals get him up to speed defensively and, more importantly, from a base-stealing standpoint so that he can play more games? You can keep his bat in the lineup. How do you do both things, develop him at the big league level when you're trying to win games?
Yeah, I don't think that there's an answer mid-season. You can't just magically touch him on the arm and say, "Yeah, you've got a rocket now." Like, the arm.
Are you sure? Have you asked around?
Have you tried?
I tried that my whole career. I kept just rubbing shoulders with everybody, and nothing different would end up happening. So, that is going to be a part of his game. Look, you can only get so much faster on your release. You can only get so much better with the footwork, but the arm is not up to par when you're talking about the rest of the starters out there. Now, that being said, I think he does a good job calling games. I think he does a good job behind the plate with framing. I believe that Pajes, though, from a catching standpoint, maybe is a little bit better at all of those things, definitely better with the arm. But you're right, the bat has played, and he's been confident with it. So it just comes down to best utilizing the roster, figuring out what the matchups are, where it's best to have him, maybe even potentially as a DH on a certain day, or maybe he's the first right-handed bat off the bench, or he goes on a run catching too. I think that you kind of play it by ear. But the big key is going to be utilizing this entire roster for Oli, and Herrera has put himself right in the middle of it.
Well, BT, we'll let you go. We know that you just wrapped up, so we'll let you get out of there. But we appreciate you coming on, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Looking forward to it, and hopefully we got some great things to talk about. Road trip to go to Chicago, always a fun weekend, and then heading to see the fighting Skip Schumacher. So should be a fun week.
There you go. Excellent. All right, brother. We'll talk to you again soon.
All right, fellas. See ya.
All right. Thank you. That's Brad Thompson. We're our World Series champion here from Valley Sports Midwest. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. We get the Gauntlet next.
warriors. 4 categories, 1 challenger. Can you master the Gauntlet?
The Gauntlet is powered by Master, your hometown source for business communications for more than 30 years. Visit mastor.com.
Time for the Gauntlet here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. 4:04, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, Andrew Marsh, and Anthony Stalter. And we welcome back Tony. What's up, Tony?
Not much. How's it going?
Everything's going good, man. So Tony beat CD yesterday, so he's got round 2 today. Tony, would you like to take on Marsh, Jamie, or me?
We're going to try Jamie today.
Called it.
I called it. I thought I got a sense that maybe Tony would take Jamie today, and he is. All right.
All right, T-Bone. Good luck.
All right. Thanks.
Yeah. Why not?
Tony and Tony.
Jamie's going to make his way into the cone of silence right now. Tony, go ahead and tell Marsh to spin that wheel. We'll find out what category you get.
All right, Marsh, you spin that wheel.
You said baseball yesterday, right, Tony? That's what you wanted?
Baseball be my preferred. Anything but random.
Anything but random.
You won in random yesterday.
Yeah,
I did win. I did. But, the random gods are going to get me today.
Football is our category today.
Are you football?
I'm good with football.
Okay. All right. So football is the category. Marsh is going to get us the launch codes here in a second. Each question, is worth 2 points unless you ask for the options. If you ask for the options, those questions are worth 1 point.
Tony, do you have your friends listening today, seeing as how you won yesterday?
I do not. My wife and kids are at the pool, and I was with them, but now I'm over here in the parking lot in my cone of silence.
Okay. All right. You got to concentrate. Yep. There you go.
I told them I let them listen in afterwards if I win. So.
Awesome.
Okay. Well, you won yesterday. Let's see how you do today. All right. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Question number 1. Kurt Warner played for the Rams, the Cardinals, and which other team in his NFL career?
Giants. Final answer.
Question number 2. Kurt Warner's first start as a Ram was a 27-10 win in Week 1 of the 1999 season. Which team was that against?
27-10. I'm going to go Baltimore. Baltimore Ravens. Final answer.
Question number 3. Name the 2 teams the Rams beat in the 1999 playoffs en route to winning the Super Bowl against the Titans. That's the 1999 season, the 2000 playoffs.
I appreciate it.
Okay. Well, I was at the first game. They beat the Vikings. My dad had PSLs. And then they beat Tampa Bay to go to the Super Bowl. So Minnesota and Tampa.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Sorry, Tony. We were looking for Vikings and Bucks, not Minnesota and Tampa. All right, Tony. Question number 4. How many points did the Rams score in their NFC Championship win that year? How many points did they score in the NFC Championship victory?
Man, I got you guys with my 99 Rams stuff. So 11-6, 11 points.
Okay. Final answer. I think your wife can listen. Jamie. Make sure the kids are there too.
They will. Those are some softballs.
Oh man!
All right, Jamie.
Told us a joke. He told us a joke.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
it's a dad joke.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I guess I wouldn't get it, Carey?
All right, Jamie.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pack lunch.
Pack 2.
Yeah, or 3.
Double bag it?
Probably.
Your category is football. Are you ready?
Yeah, I love football.
Me too.
Jamie.
Yeah.
Kurt Warner played for the Rams, the Cardinals, and which other team in his NFL career?
New York Giants. Final answer.
Question number 2. Kurt Warner's first start as a Ram was a 27-10 win in Week 1 of the 1999 season. Which team was that against?
Oh, gosh. I have no idea. Options, please.
All right, is it the Atlanta Falcons, the Baltimore Ravens, or the Cincinnati Bengals?
Well, based on the fact that somebody probably trying to hit a ricochet shot off of Anthony here, I'll say Falcons. Final answer.
Question number 3. Name the 2 teams the Rams beat in the 1999 playoffs en route to winning the Super Bowl against the Titans. That is the 1999 season 2000 playoffs.
Love the clarification.
With that for Carey.
So,
Appreciate it.
wait, the 2 teams that they beat, it would have had to beat 3. Would they not? What year is this?
The year they went to the Super Bowl against the
99.
Titans.
So is there no wild card? I can't remember.
It's 2. It's 2 teams.
Okay. Well, he asked for 2. I'm just trying to figure.
Yeah. So the so the Rams.
You just give him.
So if the Rams won the division as they did, and
Yeah.
they hosted, they would just play the divisional round and the NFC Championship game.
Scorned on the.
I doubt it. Jamie asked a really good question. I'm helping him out.
Yeah. I feel like one of them was the Vikings, just because I think Marsh is going to get a ricochet here somewhere today as well. I don't know the other. Give me the options, please.
Was it the Panthers and Vikings, the Saints and the Buccaneers, or the Vikings and the Buccaneers?
Well, at least I thought that the ricochet was correct. You know what? I think there's a double ricochet on this one. I'm going to go Vikings, Bucks, because I feel whoever made this question wanted to take a shot at me, too.
All right, question 4, Jamie. How many points did the Rams score in their NFC Championship win that year?
Really?
I just read the questions.
More than the other team?
Clearly.
True.
I have no... Who the hell...
We know who. Don't find
Options.
11, 13, or 15?
They won with a score of 11, 15.
13 or 15?
I feel like this is like screwy. It's going to be 11 or 13. Let's go 11.
Final answer?
Yeah. This is stupid.
All right, let's go over these. Tony versus Jamie in football. Kurt Warner played for the Rams, the Cardinals, and which other team in his NFL career? Tony, you said the Giants. Jamie, you said the Giants. Correct answer is...
the New York Football Giants.
Both of you did not need the options. Nice job. 2-2 tie.
Good job, Jamie.
Name the 2 teams Rams beat in the 1999 playoffs en route to winning the Super Bowl against the Titans. That's the 99 season, 2000 playoffs.
The clarification.
Jamie, you said the Vikings and the Bucks. Tony, you said the Vikings and the Bucks. Correct answer is...
It is the Vikings and the Buccaneers.
But Tony did not need the options.
Oh, come on.
4-3, Tony with the lead. How many points did the Rams score in their NFC Championship win that year? Jamie, you went with 11. Tony, you went with 11. Correct answer is...
11.
But Tony did not need the options.
You're kidding me.
I'm not.
Was he a Rams encyclopedia?
Well, hang tight. Kurt Warner's first start as a Ram was a 27-10 win in Week 1 of the 1999 season. Which team was that against? Jamie, you said the Falcons.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. They were in the same division at that point. They beat them twice that year. Tony, you said the Baltimore Ravens. Correct answer is...
It is the Baltimore Ravens.
Did not need the options. Tony.
You have chosen wisely.
Tony got a perfect 8.
Yeah, I want a urine sample.
Tony got a perfect 8. I don't know if a listener has ever gotten 8.
On those questions, he got 8.
That was the, I mean, 99 Rams, he said, you all are in my wheelhouse. When we got to the last question, he said, oh, yeah, He
little hesitation.
I knew after question 2 that he was getting all 8 correct.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Unfortunately for Jamie, as soon as he asked for the options on question 2, that was
already done.
You were already done.
Yeah.
You didn't know it. You're a dead man walking.
Son of a...
Tony, you earned that
You guys
one,
want
man.
to know who the quarterbacks were in those playoff games for the Vikings and Bucks?
Let's see. The Bucks would have been
Culpepper. No.
The Bucks was Sean King.
Was it Sean? Oh, it was Sean King.
And the Vikings would have been either Brad Johnson or Culpepper.
I think it was Jeff George.
Whoa, was it Jeff George?
ILL.
I think it was.
Wow.
We'll believe you, Tony.
Yeah, Tony.
Yeah, we will believe you. Whatever you say is right.
You know your 99 Rams, that's for sure.
I do know my 99 Rams.
All right. Hey, Tony, well done. You're going to be back.
Who made those questions for us?
I believe Grant did.
Yeah, he's Grant.
Grant.
We had dinner last night, me and Grant.
I knew there was collusion here somewhere.
Yeah. All right, Tony, nice job. You're going to be back tomorrow to take on Marsh or me in round 3.
Okay. All right.
All right, go enjoy.
We'll do it.
Go enjoy
job,
the pool,
Tony.
man. Nice
Good
job.
job.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
See ya.
Hey.
So
Jamie.
we're laughing, Jamie, because Tony at the start said that, Carey asked me, hey, your friends listening in? And Tony said, no, we're actually at the pool. My wife's with the kids. I went to the car, have my own cone of silence. He goes, I told them they can listen if I win. So after he got 8, I said, I think you can let your wife listen. Bring the kids, too.
Honestly, who the hell knew that?
He did. I mean, he
Wow.
did. He did.
I mean, impressive. Good job.
It certainly was, yeah. All right. Tony's going to take on either me or Marsh. Well, who do you think he's going for next, Marsh?
I don't know. The last listener called me out and took me 3rd.
Yeah.
But we didn't get any of that from Tony. I feel like he's even keel.
He is.
Yeah,
and
he's not.
That's a little nerve-wracking.
He's not.
That worries me just a little bit.
Yeah, he's not emotional.
At all.
He's not flamboyant. He's not in your face.
Get Marshy in hockky.
Marsh is pretty good with hockey, baseball.
Well, somebody's got to be a stopper.
Yep.
Be a closer. Mariano Rivera.
That was a speed bump.
Well, we got the 8th inning tomorrow.
The 8th inning is tomorrow. I wonder how we'll construct this bullpen that we have.
Yeah, we'll find out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. All right, we didn't get to this because we had our guy BT on, but will we see a cup window for the Blues before the end of the 2028 season? That would be, Army's last year for president of baseball operations? Going into his last year? Is that correct? Do I have my math right?
If it's baseball operations, it could be his
Not
first.
baseball, hockey, excuse me. Hockey. Hockey. I was wondering why you were like...
Jamie said, who?
Hockey. My bad. I'm just so... honestly, I'm at loss for words with Tony's performance there.
That was outstanding.
Listen, we'll talk something Blues next on ESPN.
maybe I missed this, but what's the difference in being a president and a GM? Just excited for Steen to be in a big management spot for the Blues. I feel like that guy is what the Blues culture should be, and I feel like if he has a lot of influence, can get our culture back to what it needs to be. But thanks, guys.
All right, that was UPS guy leaving us a mic drop. Appreciate that very much. It's a fast lane here on 101 ESPN. And Marsh, I know you put this down here that, will we see a cup window for the Blues before the end of the 28-29 season? Now, how far along will that put us? Because Steiner won't take over until what year? I know Army had
26, 27.
Because this year coming up, be 24, 25, 25, 26. So it'll be 26, 27 season.
Mm-hmm.
So Steiner will be 3 years into his tenure as a front office guy, but going into his first year as the actual general manager. So will the Blues be in a cup window 2 seasons post that? I would hope so.
Well, does the window start? Are you asking by then that's the window closing or that's the window opening?
I think the way that I came up with the question was based on if the window is opening by that time. So,
I would hope so,
we're in a retool
Carey
right now.
You bring up an interesting thing, though. It kind of might be closing, too, at that point. Because,
really?
Well, Jordan Binnington won't be your goalie anymore.
Right. That's true.
Braden Shen, where is he at in his career? Pavel Buchnevich, where is he at in his career? Colton Parayko will be, 4 or 5 years older than he is right now. So I think the window to be competitive and even talking contender has to be in the next 3 years, 3 to 4 years.
That's kind of what I thought.
If you're going to capitalize on some of the veteran guys you still currently have and you're wanting to add some of your youth to it to where there can actually be difference makers, not just learning on the job, then it's got to be in the next 3 years. Am I crazy here?
No. No, you're not.
4, you could stretch it, but then even at 4, you've lost Binnington now.
Well, what window are we talking about? Are we talking about Army's window? Because we're talking about Army's window. I think Jamie's right. If we're talking about Steiner's window, that thing's going to open at some point again. Once some of these contracts expire.
And Steiner's window might ultimately be 7 years from now.
Right.
Because of the way he's built it, he will build his team. But I think you're right. I think it comes down to more of the Army's window for providing a contender alongside Alex Steen. It's going to be interesting to see the steps that the youngsters take moving into training camp. I think that's why Steen kept saying, I'm focusing on training camp right now. Because the youth in any sport, they're the wild cards. If they can come in and contribute immediately, well, your salary cap goes down quick because you've got a cost-controlled player that is giving you, not making league minimum, but they're making an amount that you can stomach. They haven't hit the jackpot yet, so now you can build around these guys. And the Blues are going to have those young players in abundance coming up. Now, again, I go back to, will they be difference makers? And what does a difference maker look like? I don't know. So for the Blues, I think their window to get back to the top of the Central Division and be relevant is probably the 3 to 4 year mark. I'd say 3 years because I believe that Jordan Binnington has to be a part of this. And it's not like he's going to want out of St. Louis. Just by that point, Joel Hofer will have probably pushed Jordan Binnington to a 1B role at that point. You're hoping anyways. So it's going to be an interesting scenario.
I think for Army, too, and I don't mean to say this as Army is being selfish or self-centered or anything like that. I imagine Army's thinking about that as well. Like, what is my window here that I have an opportunity to put my prints on this Blues team? He's already won a cup here. He doesn't need to do anything else to prove to the fan base that what he accomplished here was nothing short of great. But for him, and in his career, as competitive as he is, he wants one more opportunity to build a championship winner. So I think that, if we look at it that way, the year that you marked here for us, Marsh, I do think that's kind of the end for Army.
And he's talked about it before, wanting to leave this organization in better shape than when he came in. And I think we're starting
I think.
I think some people
when he came in,
Yeah. I think maybe up to his standards, it's not right there. And I think we're starting to see the stepping stones getting back to what he envisions as leaving it better than when it came in.
Certainly.
And I think that starts right now with Alexander Steen being thrusted now into this new role.
I agree.
So, do you think, though, but Army talks about leaving the team in a better place and all that. We just talked about that, and I agree. But does this extend Army beyond that window? To relegate himself, the word's not right, but to remove himself from the equation. Like he said, if I'm not heard or seen from, or I'm paraphrasing.
Become less relevant, the more experience.
If he becomes less relevant in his spot as a president, did the Blues hang on to him longer, or does he want to be here longer? Not because he's irrelevant, and that's a real loose use of the word, but just because now he's not the main focus. Because then what do you do for a president of hockey ops? You bump Steener to that? Like, that's a lot on a guy's plate in his first 5 years.
Right. Yeah.
So I think it actually extends the thought of keeping Army around even longer even in a president of hockey operations slash consultant role for the front office. Tim Taylor, Ryan Miller and Alex Steen, all those guys, Scott Mellenby. But who knows? Like, Scott Mellenby has wanted to be the president of hockey ops in other places, and he's interviewed to be that as well. Maybe that's the succession plan following Doug Armstrong.
Yeah. Well, and just because he had a contract extension to this certain date doesn't mean that he can't get another one, right, and keep him in that role.
Yeah.
I think
but I think putting Steen in that spot is kind of like, hey, this is it.
Is it like he's hinting towards something? I think, and maybe I'm wrong, but when you're in a certain position and you've had all these different accolades, I think the next best accolade is to somewhat groom another person into being that next role, and then when they have success, they can look at you as being the foundation or the mentor in that position. And I think that is also another great accolade to have that might not be on par with different awards.
Right. I agree. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. If you have a question for us, send it into the Air Comfort Service text line at 314-399-9646. We've got our Sports Six-Pack next.
Hey, it's Carey, and let me tell you about my friends over at Scrap Mart Metals. If you're a contractor or you own a business that needs recycling, then you need to learn more about Scrap Mart Metals. They are tailor-made for your business to meet your schedule and your budget. They understand that job site cleanup for a contractor is a mess. If you set up a business account with them to recycle that metal, it's one less thing you have to do. You'd be amazed at how scrap metals add up and how it can truly help your business's cash flow. If you own heavy equipment, you get tired of it breaking down over and over and over again. Repair. Eventually, it's going to break down for good, and you're going to have to get rid of it. When that time comes, Scrap Mart will come get it out of your way. They'll haul the equipment to one of their locations and get you a check the same day. Or if you want to haul it yourself, they have 3 convenient locations: Valley Park, Peevely, Jonesburg. If it's metal, they will buy it. It is recycling made easy. They offer a convenient drive-on scale and have the highest payout. You will always get top dollar for your scrap metals. Just visit them at scrapmartmetals.com. My guy Lucas can talk to you about setting up a business account to get you rolling. That's scrapmartmetals.com, and tell them Carey sent you.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Blues announced today that Doug Armstrong has signed a 3-year contract extension to continue leading the club as president of hockey operations through the 2028-2029 season. The club has also named Alexander Steen as special assistant to the general manager through the 2025-2026 season, after which he will be appointed as the 12th general manager in franchise history. We talked earlier today with Alexander Steen. If you missed that interview, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free 101 mobile app. You also find our interview with Brad Thompson there as the Cardinals defeated the Pirates today by a final score of 4-3. You'll find all of our interviews and full shows on the podcast page, and it's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. We have our Sports Six-Pack coming up next, so if you have a question you want to send our way, do so using the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646. Our Sports Six-Pack is coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is now.
With Carey Davis and Jamie Rivers, I'm Anthony Stalter's Andrew Marsh with your Sports Six-Pack questions.
Question number 1.
All right, we just got done talking about the Blues Cup window. Jamie, you mentioned that a lot of Blues might not be on the team in the next 4 or 5 years. We got a question from the 618. Will Robert Thomas be the only Blues player that Steen has to GM?
No, you've got, I wanted to pull up the roster here from our good old friends at Cap Friendly, who won't be around very much longer. Thank you, Ted Leonsis and the Washington Capitals, for sewering everybody. No, he can't be. I mean, look, Jordan Kyrie's on that 8-year deal as well, and if the texter is insinuating that Kyrie could be traded and not here anymore, well, I guess that could be a number of players, too, if you're looking at the roster. But overall here, let's see the long-term deals. Like, what does Booch's deal look like? And you've got Kyrie and Thomas, and you've got Braden Shen will still be here, Colton Parayko, and then you've got your youngsters. So it won't be a lot of guys. Texter's right. It won't be a lot of guys that will carry over into the Steen regime. But we'll see.
Question number 2.
From the 573, did we underestimate how valuable Jay Bouwmeester was to the championship team?
Yeah, of course you did. Of course you did. All of you, shame on you. The ones that were booing when Jay Bo got here. Called him overpaid, all this stuff. And now, you realize what you had. The same thing you tried to do to Colton Parayko. Trade that guy. Man, get rid of him. Oh, my God, he's so good. Yeah, exactly. Poor J-Bo. He got picked up from Calgary, came in. They liked him. Then he extended him a new deal. It was a lot of money. But they didn't like that because he's not flashy. And he, yeah. We completely undervalued what Jay Bouwmeester brought to this team, and I think that every single player from that 2019 championship team, along with all the other seasons, will tell you flat out when you ask about Jay Bouwmeester, just the amount of respect they had for him as a player and how much he helped that team. Colton Parayko yesterday. So whenever I had trouble with the punch, pass over to Jay Bo. He's got it covered. We're good. So yes, we did.
Makes life easy.
Question number 3.
From the 770, is Little Caesars the Nickelback of pizza? Everyone secretly likes them, but no one would admit it. Hardly.
I'll admit it. Little Caesars pizza is good. I've eaten a lot of it.
Yeah. $5 hot and ready?
Yeah, buddy.
I don't think they're the Nickelback of pizzas because I think they're like people who like Nickelback don't even admit it.
I like Nickelback.
I like Nickelback.
I don't know.
Outside of two people that like Nickelback, they won't admit it. So
I don't.
Yeah.
Are they like
I like Little Caesar. Little Caesar's good.
What about the Creed of pizza? Little Caesars. So let's go there. Let's eat some cheese. Come on, let's go there.
I like it.
I can't let you badmouth any company of Mike Ilitch.
Yeah.
I just can't. That guy built that brand from his kitchen. In fact, he went into... Do you ever hear that story? So he started making these pizzas, and he'd make a bunch, and like 4 or 5. That's all he could make, and he'd go sell them on the street. Till one day he walked into a bar, and the bar didn't have like kitchen or anything, and he just asked the guy who owned the bar, he said, listen, you don't have to pay me anything, but can I make and sell pizzas in your bar? And I'll give you, whatever. The guy said, oh, yeah, sure. And that's how he started making pizzas. And people would start to come in to eat the pizza they were making, not just to drink. And then he started to grow it from there. And obviously, we know what it is now. But that's how Mike Ilitch, who before he passed is a multi-billionaire, and he built his brand by pounding the pavement and getting into a bar and making pizzas in a stranger's kitchen to get Little Caesars started.
That's a great story.
The 618 said he likes Creed and Nickelback.
Oh, okay.
Well, good.
Well, there you go. Good.
See? It's nice.
I thought, Jamie, I thought you were going to say I won't allow anybody to badmouth Nickelback because they're Canadian.
Well, I've lost that fight a long time ago. And the biggest fight the biggest pushback I have you seen their bank account?
Yeah, I think they're doing okay.
That tells me that there's a lot of closet Nickelback fans.
You can hate me all you want.
Yep.
The rock stars. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah, that's right.
Question number 4.
This one comes from Justin. Is Anthony Beck the right head coach for the Battlehawks?
Oh, I think so.
I love Anthony Beck.
Yeah, I do too.
He's got to figure out a way, though, that, I mentioned this on Monday after they lost. They have got to figure out a way to improve as the season wears on, because they have collapsed the last 2 years, unfortunately. They've played their worst football at the end of the year.
Yeah, like I said, that San Antonio game, I can't put that on coaching. The only concern I would have had is I would have liked to have seen them play action pass, maybe throw on first down a little bit more, and tackle. Mm-hmm. But the tackling is essentially, that's the players. You got to be in the right position, which I'm sure you were coached up to do, and you got to get guys on the ground and not let them rush for 200-plus yards, which San Antonio did. And that's the reason you lost the game. You gave up too many big plays in the run game, a couple of big plays in the pass game, and you were unable to make the plays offensively when you needed to.
But as far as like him, whether or not he's the right guy,
I don't blame him for those mistakes. So, no, I think he's. We've talked to Anthony multiple times. We've had him on the show. Like he's there for those young men, not just for their UFL careers, but to hopefully get them to the NFL. And he's a true supporter of that and wants those guys to have the best lives that they can have, even if it's not in football. So
yeah.
When you have a guy like that is taking time and doing all those things, I think he's perfect for the job.
Yeah, listen to any player, any of his players talk about him, and you'll know that he's the right guy.
Question number 5.
All right, this one comes from the Fart Master. If the Cardinals miss the playoffs, does Oli Marmol get the boot?
No.
That's interesting.
He just signed a contract extension. He's not going anywhere.
That's interesting.
No.
What, if they miss the playoffs?
Did you pose that question? Are we talking about that later today, Marshy? Or the audio I sent you?
We could.
It's an interesting question.
Okay.
We'll revisit it in a little bit.
All right.
Or we can expand it following the break here. It's up to you, Anthony. It's your show.
Well, why don't you? It's our show.
But it doesn't go without you.
Our show.
Yeah.
It does. It has. It's gone many a times without me. Carey, that's really nice.
Did you hear me when you all were out?
Well, that's because you didn't have a voice.
I didn't appreciate you faking that, by the way.
I wish I was.
Then I got it right after. Remember?
Boy, that was a bad stretch.
That was terrible.
That was when. Did it start with Marsh?
I think so. I think Marsh had
was
strep.
the host.
Were you the host, Monkey? Remember when we all got sick?
You were. You had.
Oh yeah, you had COVID.
I got. Oh damn.
Yeah. You walked out of here one day like, guys.
That's right.
What was
I don't feel good.
I don't feel good.
I have to leave.
Yeah. First time.
Show.
Ninja bomb.
Gotta go.
First and only time I've ever done it. I'm like,
COVID
guys,
for the next 3 or 4 days.
If you go back and look at me on YouTube, that previous segment, I was trying not to throw up, and I
think I caught the flu next, and then I think, well, no. Marshy caught.
I thought Marsh was first. I stopped listening for 2 seconds, and now I thought
Marsh about the plague that hit the fast lane.
Oh, that was all Anthony's fault.
I thought Marsh was first. Then I got.
Remember, you were first.
No, you were first.
I had the temp of like 104
that was when you
or
had
5
COVID
or something like that.
We didn't think you were going to make it.
I was seeing things that weekend,
and I think Marshy got.
Yeah, but I didn't have COVID. I had like food poisoning. It was a little different, but it just happened the same.
We all had different things.
Yeah.
He had the flu, and then I had strep throat.
Oh, yeah, you had strep. And then Marshy, you did get flu.
Basically, we were mutes on this show.
Man.
I got the flu, and then I think the Cardinals signed Sonny Gray.
Yeah.
And then any big event that happens, I just not here. Except for today, of course.
Oh, of course, yeah. It's a big day for Alexander Steen.
It is.
Okay. Do we have a question? Did we answer that question?
Not really, because there's audio I want to attach to that.
No. I meant the final question. Whatever.
I never asked a final question.
Do you have a final question?
Question number 6.
Yeah, from the 828. Do you think the UFL looks to be going under? The NFL should step in. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you think if the UFL looks to be going under, the NFL should step in and help it and make it a farm system like basketball, baseball, and hockey?
Absolutely.
I wonder what Jamie thinks about that.
Yeah, you know how I feel about that. I think they should. Will they? Highly doubtful.
Probably not.
But if there's ever a way to develop players in the off season and give them a little more than just practice squad stuff, the UFO would be a perfect platform for that. And I don't even think each team would have to own a team or run a team. You could have a couple of teams splitting a roster to where they go down and play and get ready to go. And maybe it's a young guy that needs more reps. I think it would be awesome, but I just don't see the NFL pouring money into another league except their own.
I feel like that's a bad move.
Yeah.
Is it though? Like if you're the NFL, you don't need help.
Your current model is working.
I mean, it's outstanding, actually.
Yeah.
Hey, you're year round at this point.
You have to do it, but
so if you don't have to spend money and you're still able to make money.
Yeah.
I don't know that adding the UFL would make them more money because that would
probably cost them.
There you go.
Right.
They're
all right. Yeah, they're probably fine.
Just doing things because it's the right thing.
Just because that's what we like.
Yeah.
Keep the Battlehawks here.
We think it's going to be nice. So why don't you go ahead and do
What
it?
they should do is just expand and make the Battlehawks an NFL team.
Yeah. Now you're thinking. Absolutely.
Would you still want to be called the Battlehawks?
Yes.
Yeah, you'd have to at this point. The
Yeah.
Battle Dome, the brand that they've built.
Yes.
You'd have to.
I think so,
St.
too.
Louis would absolutely. Yeah. Look what they've done for a UFL team. What's your problem, Carey?
what is
because
your
it
problem?
doesn't feel NFL-ish.
Oh,
no disrespect.
NFL-ish.
I agree with you.
I don't know that they would want to brand themselves as the Battlehawks. That's just that's one person's point of view.
You two have a lot of nerve.
I love
they lose one game, and look what these
one
two do.
game, and Marsh.
I agree with you.
And Carey.
I'm all about a marketing.
Turn on the Battlehawks.
I didn't turn on the Battlehawks.
Why don't you just call them the Archers or something?
The Archers?
Whatever.
It could be cool, like the bow and arrow is actually an arch.
But really, who's the lamest Marvel hero?
Yeah, by far.
Who's by far the lamest Avenger?
I mean, you're thinking of Hawkeye.
The one with the bow and arrow. Thank you.
I'll tell you what, though, in the DC universe, Green Arrow is he's a badass.
Nobody watches DC. That's a lie. It's all about Marvel.
It is.
All right. Jamie, you got me on this one.
I do.
Come on, man.
The DC movies suck, but the comics are really good, Anthony.
We're not talking about the comics, okay?
I never said comics once.
Not once. Talking about the movies.
That's
Hawkeye, lamest.
Watch the TV show.
You want our St. Louis football team to be the lamest. Why don't you just call them lame? St. Louis Lames.
The St. Louis Lame Ducks.
Yeah.
Lame Duck manager.
Speaking of which, Oli is his job in jeopardy. The Cards missed the postseason. That's next on 101 ESPN. Jamie, you know as well as anyone, when you have somebody that you think is and know that's an expert at anything, having that person on your cell phone ready to go is vital. And that's what Stewie from Stewart's American Mortgage Corporation, that's what he is for us, and he can be the same for you too. We're talking about anything. You're buying a home, need a loan, Stewie's your guy. Debt consolidation, you're a little worried about what's going on right now with the credit cards and where the rates are, give Stewie a call. He can help. Anything you're thinking of doing loan-related or maybe setting you up better financially, Stewie is your perfect option.
Yeah, he is. And he offers incredible customer service, that old school customer service where Stewie can recognize when you need help and what direction to point you in. And he's got so many great programs available to you. His creation, the Bag Loan, is fantastic. It's where you borrow $200,000 or more with no underwriting fees, no title fees, no lender fees, no closing costs. And if you're purchasing a home, he can also get you closed within 10 to 14 days, sometimes depending on the circumstances. And really just somebody who you can lean on. Any questions that you have, Stewie's going to take great care of you. And all you have to do is pick up the phone, call him, or text him on his personal cell phone number. That number is 314-324-4440.
Again, 314-324-4440.
Call him, text him day, night, weekend, doesn't matter. Our guy is Stewie. It needs to be your guy. And if you can't remember that number, we're going to make it really easy for you. Anthony, what can they do?
You can always Google the Bagel Loan.
NMLS number 226715.
More of what you want to hear. Sport.
It's the Fast Lane on 101 at ESPN. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. So Ken Rosenthal was on with Alana Rizzo from Foul Territory, and Alana Rizzo asked him, which team could Alex Cora, currently the Boston Red Sox manager, be managing next season if he does leave Boston? Ken Rosenthal mentioned 3 teams. Which 3? Well, we'll let Ken tell you.
First of all, I'm putting Boston on this list. I'm not ruling out that the Red Sox are not going to employ Alex Cora next year. We can look at a number of teams that could have openings if things don't go the way they want them to. And I'm talking about big teams. The Dodgers are one. The Yankees are another. The Cardinals are a third. And there are more as well. And it's going to be really interesting to see what Alex Cora decides. He's talked a lot about wanting to be with his family and his kids. Could he take a year off? Yeah, I think he could take a year off, or maybe even move to a front office role. But he's going to be this year's Craig Counsell. It certainly seems that way. And you might say, well, the Red Sox, they're not playing all that great. They're not. But the fact that they're around 500 with as many injuries as they've had, it's kind of astonishing, to be perfectly honest. It's a tribute to their pitching, which they've overhauled. But Cora will be out there. He's going to be an interesting name. And if one of those big teams, the Dodgers or Yankees, somehow flames out in the playoffs, could I see changes taking place? Yes, I could.
Your guys' thoughts on Ken Rosenthal calling the Cardinals a big team?
Yeah.
Well, I thought that was amazing. They are.
Well, from a league standpoint, the Cardinals are a historic franchise. I think that's where he's going with it.
Well, from our standpoint,
From our
too,
standpoint,
Jamie,
yeah.
we know they're a historic franchise.
Yeah.
They just don't act like it.
Well, depends on what
But
you're
they're on
talking
field
about.
play.
Maybe that. Okay. But I just thought it was a little weird to have the Cardinals put in that bucket. Like, is it possible that Oli Marmol gets fired following this season if the Cardinals miss the playoffs again? I mean,
No.
I guess it's possible, Anthony. And it's possible.
No.
It's possible. And the fact that he brings up, Alex Cora alongside the Dodgers, Yankees, and Cardinals, I just found that to be an interesting thought that he just spit it out there. And Ken Rosenthal is not of the nature of just throwing things out there for clicks.
Right.
So, I don't know. It made the antennas go up a little bit and go, well, is there more? Like, are we not seeing something that the Cardinals are putting out there that they are? Mm-hmm. Because I know here locally, I don't feel like there's any pressure that the Cardinals are going to fire Oli Marmol.
I don't think so either. Well, Carey's got a contract extension. They're not going to. This is not a team that just quickly moves on from a manager unless it's Mike Schultz and there's some other stuff going on.
You're not at all concerned that he mentioned the Dodgers and the Yankees and they're both leading their division and got 40-plus wins?
Well, Ken may have been drinking. I don't know. I don't know what Ken likes to do on a Thursday morning/afternoon.
For the last 3 days, they've been scoring like 8 to 10 runs a game. The Dodgers are.
Well, they blew today's game in the bottom of the ninth.
I didn't pick them.
So that's why Ken.
But do you think that maybe he made the connection of Heim Bloom? But I don't think they got along all that great in Boston. I could be wrong. But maybe. And
Alex Cora also missed some time. I don't know when the overlap was, because Cora, remember, was brought back.
Yeah, we need our Apple Watches, Anthony.
Yeah. So Cora was let go, then brought back. So I don't know how, where that crossover happened.
I don't want Alex Cora. What the hell has he done since 2021?
Hey, you're not going to get Alex Cora. You're not going to get a manager that had previous experience that is going to challenge the front office. You're just not.
He's had
not going to happen.
He's had two 90-plus win seasons and 3 winning seasons out of 6.
Does he have a world championship?
Boston does have a world championship.
He does own one of those.
We just alluded to some
hardware,
some stuff that might be on your wrist that
may have benefited him.
It might have been overlooked because another team was banging trash cans around the same time.
Some people say if you
I don't care what that team was banging. You're talking about the Red Sox.
He wanted to keep track of his steps, guys.
I thought that's what that was for. I wear an Apple Watch.
Yeah, I wear an Apple Watch, too. I'm not cheating at anything.
No, you're not.
Not right now.
No.
Living life.
You probably wish you cheated earlier today in the Gauntlet against Tony.
I still wouldn't have beat him.
No.
Just tied.
I would have tied, and then I would have get beat up in the tiebreaker. So.
I'm sure there's a lot of Cardinal fans, though, that would like him over Oli Marmol.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen, guys.
No.
It is a pipe dream. They're not going to move on from Oli with the contract extension. They're not going to bring in a manager with experience.
Maybe the Cardinals make the playoffs.
Anthony, stop it.
Jamie, do you think they are?
I don't know. The last 3 have had no experience.
Have had 0.0 manager, MLB managerial experience.
Yeah.
I'm just going on the last...
There is going to be a changing of the guard.
11 years.
But there is going to be a changing of the guard. After next season, Mo is done. So whoever takes over from that point on, whether it's Heim Bloom or if they bring in somebody, they're going to want to have their guy. And it's not, I don't know if having your guy means another nobody. I think if your very first kick at the opportunity, you're going to want to make sure you bring in a guy you're sure of, not an experiment.
Jamie, unless you're talking about Mo Jr., Heim Bloom, who's going to bring in Oli Jr. I think that Bloom is Mo.
All right.
And so do you.
I do, but I also feel like there's pressure to create a winning team right away. For me personally, if I was moving into that position, I wouldn't pick a first-time manager. I'd want somebody that I know matches the direction the team's going in, that I have a portfolio on.
Yeah, that's because you're savvy and you use common sense.
Most of the time.
Most of the time, yeah. In this case, absolutely. In other cases,
not so much.
You leave a little to be desired sometimes in terms of decision making. But you know who else does? Me. That's why I like you. Carey feels the same way. Marsh, I won't include you in this.
Why?
You're a young kid. You're smart. You got your whole life in front of you. 3 of us, not so much.
Are you saying you guys have made bad decisions?
Let me tell you, Marcy.
Ooh, how much
you
time
go
you got?
Get a shopping cart full of beer while I tell you about bad decisions, okay?
Why do more teams...
Be here all day, buddy.
You know where I can get that from, Jamie?
Oh, yeah, just wheel that cart all over, right over there to Dirt Cheap.
Nice.
Yep. That's some of the greatest selections in the city.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Why do more teams in sports not have former players step in as general manager like the Blues just have with Alexander Steen? That's next on 101 ESPN. You know, our listeners often say, you better hold Mo and the Cardinals accountable.
They do say that a lot.
Well, we have a listener that holds us accountable.
We have several, but
listeners.
Yes.
Yeah.
Apparently, Brandon, after taking Carey and Jamie to task a couple of weeks ago, has now turned on me. Marsh is getting that loaded up for us, so you'll hear that mic drop at some point. So Alexander Steen it was announced today that he will be the assistant to the general manager for the next couple of years before he takes over as full-time general manager. Why do you guys think that more teams don't hire former players as general managers? Like we've seen it. It's not like this is unprecedented. But why don't you think that? I mean, Alexander Steen was a hell of a player.
Yes.
We're not talking about, somebody that was on an NFL roster, NHL roster, NBA roster for like a minute. Mm-hmm. This is somebody who had a big time role for a long time in the NHL. Why do you think that players don't have more opportunities like this?
So I think there's a mix on this one. Some of the players just don't want to do the work. They don't. They've made really good money.
That's fair.
And even though they're great hockey minds, they don't want to go to the office at 7 a.m. and leave at midnight after the game on a game day. Like, that's not just coaching. Like, Doug Armstrong gets to the rink about the same time as the coaches do for practice, 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, works away all day at all the other things, business, hotels, travel,
everything,
contracts, and then goes and watches the game and evaluates his team after that, and sometimes sits down with the coaches post-game to talk about the game. Like, not every multi-millionaire wants to do that. Mm-hmm. They love to wear the suit and walk around the arena and shake hands and kiss babies and act like they're doing something.
Yeah.
But the part that they want to do is the easy part. It takes a lot of work and a really high work ethic to be able to do that job. So that's one category. And as far as not just being that where the job is tough, sometimes you don't see it because there's been a change. Hockey hasn't really adopted it yet. Football, I don't know so much, but like baseball, you hardly see any former players in management roles. GM or president of baseball operations. I don't even, off the top of my head, I can't even think of one in Major League Baseball. And you're looking at a lot of analytics people and CEO types. Like, you're not looking at true baseball people, guys that ate dirt out there and slid head first into home plate, things like. You're not getting those guys in baseball.
Pete Rose is still banned.
True, he's one of them that did that. Yeah. So that's where I go with it, is the player doesn't want to, and there's been a change in some respects to where they're reaching outside the box for different people. And I don't know what's good.
Well, part of it could be because of the analytics portion of how organizations are seeing their teams, whether that's, with the salary cap or how the numbers fit to make your team better, which, I'm not a huge fan of. But the other part, like Jamie said, is being a player and being really good and then having to, there's a level of commitment that is required to be a really good pro athlete. Or a pro athlete in general. The amount of time sacrifice, the amount of time you spend doing that, it can become ridiculous. And it's even more, as you said, in management, in head coaching, in general managing. There are so many hours that you have to put in. And if you had a decent career and was able to make decent amount of money, sitting there for that long and not having the impact that you are accustomed to having, like as a player, you can change a game for the good or bad. As a front office person, as a general manager, as a coach, you are extremely limited into what you can do to change a game or to help your team win. It's on the players. And as a coach, as Jamie has been a coach, as I have been a coach, you have been a coach, that's probably the most frustrating thing in the world, is not being able to have an input in the way you are accustomed to doing so in your former profession.
Yeah, because I was thinking about you too, Carey, when Jamie's talking about being a general manager. I mean, you're coaching high school football. All of the things. I mean, you're getting phone calls from parents, ADs, coaches in college, recruit, all that stuff, and you're having to manage it all. You're the dude. You're the guy. On top of breaking down film, tweaking your offense, making sure your players understand it, then understand it again because they didn't get it the first time. I mean, you're doing
grades,
everything. Checking grades.
Checking emails from teachers, from kids that slept in class or had headphones on. Don't take me back there. Don't take me back.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Sorry, no, Carey, you're good. Carey, you're here. You're here.
I'm sorry.
You're fine.
Okay.
All right. It's Fast Lane on 101 ESPN 511. Your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. The Cardinals take 2 of 3 from the Pirates. They won today in that rubber match at Busch Stadium. So we'll recap what happened. And Brandon left us a mic drop. Should be interesting. That's next on 101 ESPN.
Anthony, you are on my crap list. Why are you being so dang negative and sarcastic and snarky? Old man Carey is being more positive than you. And Grandpa Jamie, I don't know. He's in between today. And average Joe Marsh over there, again, I don't know. So, we won today. Why are you complaining? Go Cardinals.
Why did I get a ricochet? Why am I old man Carey?
Well,
come on.
Really? Oh, too brute. Really?
I mean, Brandon's not.
Grandpa.
He's not wrong.
Yeah, so.
I am snarky.
No.
And
you weren't happy with the win today? We're only one game under 500.
When the Cardinals
guys.
win, Anthony gets angrier.
No, I
Because he
don't.
knows there's a loss following the next game.
Very true. That I'll give you that.
I did. I thought about this. And, sometimes if it's going to happen, let it just happen. You don't want to be teased and made to believe
it depends.
Usually, if it's going to end up bad, just let it be bad now, right? And I think that's what Anthony is saying. He feels like it's going to be bad eventually, so just be bad now.
So just screw it.
Yeah.
Just fold your hand and just give up. Hey, Carey, that's your solution?
Yeah.
If you think it's going to be bad.
No one to fold him.
Just if
no
you
one to hold
think.
him. No one to walk away.
Fold up shop.
That's what Anthony said. That's what Brandon said about Anthony. He's the one that's snarky today.
I'm snarky every day.
All right, this is true. Now,
this is so true.
Actually, yeah, you got me there.
Listen. I'm not gonna.
I apologize.
I'm not gonna give you the negative. I'm not negative every day. Snarky, sarcastic, dead to rights. You got me.
You think he's negative every day?
But I think that's part of the charm of this show.
No.
I agree.
Oh, Jamie, come on. I lift you up all the time.
Yeah, but I don't ask you and I tell you to take your hands off me. It's really weird.
When I went into the office and saw it, I was like, what the hell are you doing?
He sneaks up and he's like, pretend you're choking. And he grabs me. I'm like, what are you doing?
Right. But that's a positive experience.
I don't know that it's positive for him.
No, it's not
You
at
can't
all.
say that's negative.
That chapstick pokes me in the back. It's just not good.
Got to make sure the lips are all right.
So give up. That's the theme.
I don't know what Brandon's talking about. When was I being negative?
This is Anthony. Anthony's Jack Black in School of Rock, and he's like, so don't waste your time trying to make anything cool or pure or awesome, because the man is just going to call you a fat, washed-up loser and crush your soul.
That's right.
So do yourself a favor and just give up.
But he turned it around. So I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for the Cardinals to turn it around.
Oh, they're one game under 500, Anthony.
Listen to that statement. We got listeners leaving us a mic drop. What are you complaining about? And you just said it. One game under 500. You want me to celebrate it?
They were fifth in the division yesterday, and they're second today.
We won today. You beat the Pirates.
All
They're
three
last
teams
place.
are right there. A half game.
Is this where we're at right now in St. Louis? Is this where we're at?
I hate to inform you.
We have to celebrate the wins against the Pirates that put us one game below 500.
The Pirates are a playoff team.
Have there no expectations?
Where are we?
St. Louis.
Are there no standards anymore? One game under 500. Knock off the Pirates.
Hey,
we won.
You're in a playoff spot. What the hell's your problem?
Everybody makes the playoffs.
we just got an unreal GIF or picture sent to us. The Air Comfort Service text line from 314 says leadership. The best leaders lift people up rather than tearing them down.
Thank you.
It's a picture of Darth Vader choking one of the Imperial officers.
That's right.
See? Now you know what I live with every day.
Well, okay, but
I wish it was face to face. It's easily sneaking up on me from behind.
Hold on. Tell me Darth
It's
Vader.
weird, and the heavy breathing is a bit much.
Jamie?
Yeah, he thinks he's Darth Vader. He's like,
What the hell is going on?
Tell me Darth Vader didn't have some good ideas.
Oh, man.
certainly had discipline.
Hey, that guy at the end of the day, he was redeemed.
He was.
He was redeemed.
He was somebody's father.
He was somebody's father. And so am I. So sorry.
Two people's father, actually.
Three.
No, I'm talking about Darth Vader.
Oh, I thought you were talking about me.
No.
It's just like, wait, what do you mean?
What happened?
Three. What does Marcy know that I
What the hell? I almost got that.
Tristan panicking at home.
Seriously.
Shut up, Andrew.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Okay. That got dark.
We got a text from the water boy. Does he come up behind you and whisper, "I'm your father"?
No, he doesn't do that.
No.
Thank goodness.
I don't say anything. It's creepier that way.
It's really weird.
So your Cardinals beat the Pirates today. Time to celebrate, baby. 33 and 34.
There it is.
I'm trying to be positive.
That wasn't.
It was not at all.
That was a crap sandwich.
Let me try again.
All right.
Let me try again. Your Cardinals beat the Pirates 4-3. Lance Lynn went a whopping 4 1/3.
What is wrong with
I'm sorry. Let me try again. Cardinals took the series from the last place Pirates. I can't do it. I'm sorry, I can't do it.
Negative and sarcastic
Yes.
and snarky.
all of that? You.
But I tried.
There are a lot of things that are making a lot of sense right now.
Did you try?
What? I did.
One game under 500.
That's right.
Carey, you said
On our
that
way.
you'd be back on board when they get like 2 or 3 games above 500.
It's going to need to be 3. It
All
was
right.
2.
Who's their next series against?
The Cubs.
Oh, that's right. Their trip to Chicago.
Are we going?
I wish.
Why not?
Why don't we go for that trip anymore?
Well, because Tommy decided that it wasn't going to happen anymore. I blame Tommy.
Our boss, Tommy?
Yeah, it's his fault. In fact, that's so not true. Tommy loves those trips more than anything.
Let's just go.
I keep trying to get him to do a Nashville trip for the Blues.
For the Blues. That's a good one.
I'm
ready,
guys.
You guys let me know. I'm all in.
We're ready too.
Yeah.
But last time we went, what did we do last time that caused us not to be able to go anymore? What did you do?
What? Hey, I was well behaved. I think.
You can't remember.
I can't. No, that was the first trip that was the first like road trip where I brought Ashley along. So I was on good behavior.
Yeah.
I think.
Maybe
it's her fault.
It was her fault. That's who it was. Yeah. She did it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Text from the 573. Anthony is an effing little kid's football coach. Would love to hear him talk to a kid.
Oh, yeah.
An 8-0. An 8-0 football coach. All right.
Last time I checked, that's 8 games above 500.
Correct.
There you go.
That's right. I told you about the 2 rushers over 1,000, right?
Yeah, in 8 games.
In 8 games.
Yeah.
Yep.
He had to dial it back towards the end of the season.
I did. Yeah. I had to
feel better.
Yeah. Well, let the league feel better, you know. Everybody's trying.
Are they checking birth certificates yet?
Nope.
And he's proud of it.
Anthony's got a kid on his team with a beard.
I am 12.
I'm 7.
I asked Marsh to show up.
Who's the big friendly kid?
He's in the first grade.
Don't worry about it. Yeah.
I am in the orange reading group. I don't know how much that will lend itself to being on the roster, but
yeah. All right. So Mason Wynn, he went 2 for 4 today. A couple of big performances offensively. Mason Wynn 2 for 4. Jose Fermin, not Freddie Fermin. Jose Fermin went. He had a couple of hits. He had one triple that went to the corner, and Brendan Donovan touched some seats today, as well as Paul Goldschmidt. So a couple of ding-dong Johnsons. He got it done. Plus, he beat one of the better pitchers for the Pirates in Mitch Keller. He went 6 innings, but
Yeah, but
he didn't look great today.
Is it alarming at all that Lance Lynn keeps like the innings eater that he's supposed to be, and the reason that you brought him in, and he's going 4 1/3? What do you know what his last 3-4 starts have been? Because I feel like he hasn't gone deep in any of these. Even when he's pitched well, it's like 5 1/3.
Yeah, I think honestly, Jamie, you're being way too negative. So let's just look at this, okay? I don't understand why you're negative. So 4 1/3 today. 4 against the last place Rockies. 4 innings against the Phillies.
There you go.
4 1/3.
That's not what you want.
Typically, no. Considering that you signed him to be a quote-unquote innings eater. Yeah.
He is playing with passion. I do like that. He has a fire out there.
Yeah.
We talked about it in the office. Someone asked, when does he get roughed up? Like, in what inning? I think you said fourth.
I said the fourth.
And it happened to be the fifth.
It was the fifth. I was off by one.
You were wrong.
Which it's frustrating because, I know he's working his butt off to get it done, but it seems like each game it's going to be an inning where it just kind of flips on them, and they are fortunately today they were able to get the win. They were able to score another run and not lose that game. But he gave up 3 runs, and now the game is tied, and it feels like you start scrambling, or you start feeling like, here we go again.
Yeah,
and that's not a good feeling to have.
No, not at all.
I got a text from Thanks Dad. Tommy told 20,000 people that they can't go to the games either.
It was a road trip.
Tommy.
Oh, Tommy did.
Yeah. Nothing to do with the Cardinals game.
Oh, yeah. No.
I will not let you blame Tommy for the Cardinals.
No. Yeah, that was at Wrigley. That was a road trip. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 at ESPN. Biggest question of the day next.
Hey, it's Carey, and let me tell you about Window Nation. Right now, you get bonus days to save during Window Nation's semi-annual sale through June 30th. You can get quality, affordable windows. This is a really big deal. They've extended their sale, giving you 50% off of all windows, along with 0% interest for 5 full years. Plus, if you schedule an appointment now, you'll get a bonus 10% off. If your windows are old, they are not ready to handle the summer heat, maybe you're tired of paying the high utility bills for air conditioning this summer, then you need to reach out to Window Nation at 866-90Nation or go online at windownation.com. They can install those windows in 1 day or less. Window Nation's windows come with a lifetime warranty. They installed over 200,000 windows just last year, 96% of them requiring no follow-up service. They will get that window installed, I said, in 1 day, and they'll measure it 3 times to ensure the proper fit. Again, reach out to them at 866-90Nation. The semi-annual sale is now through June 30th. 50% off of all windows, 866-90Nation, or go online at windownation.com.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Blues announced today that Doug Armstrong has signed a 3-year contract extension to continue leading the club as president of hockey operations through the 2028-2029 season. The club has also named Alexander Steen as special assistant to the general manager through the 2025-2026 season, after which he will be appointed as the 12th general manager in franchise history. We talked earlier today with Alexander Steen. If you missed that interview, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free 101 mobile app. Just head to the podcast page. You'll find all of our interviews and full shows there. And it's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. We also talked with Brad Thompson today after the Cardinals won 4-3 against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Once again, if you missed that or anything from today's show, just go check it out on the podcast page. And it's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. We have our biggest question of the day coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
It's time for the Fast Lane's biggest question of the day.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, Andrew Marsh, and Anthony Stalter. Time for the biggest question of the day. Marsh, go.
Guys, we had a question. It was more of a statement, the hot take or hot garbage. We did not get to it, but I wanted to bring it back up and sort of put my own spin on it. So the hot take or hot garbage was the Blues acquiring a top defenseman would help them more than the Cardinals acquiring a Cy Young pitcher. What do you think about that? Which team needs one of those things more than the other? Obviously, they both need it. But
Cardinal Cy Young.
Yeah.
Talking about Cy Young.
Cy Young.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best pitcher in.
No, not Cy Young because he's dead. But
it's Sonny Gray. What did he finish second?
Yeah, but if you had an actual Cy Young winner, then you'll also have Sonny Gray. It's a 1-2 combo.
Yeah, I know.
1-2 punch.
That's right.
Yeah.
Jamie?
I personally think the Blues getting a defenseman. Starting pitcher only goes once every 5 days. You need a hockey player every game.
It's one of 6 guys that are going to be playing in
Carey,
that game.
Carey, can I tell you something? Jamie agrees with us. All right, so what if we said, I don't know.
Norris Trophy winner.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it's a Norris Trophy winner, it changes your lineup drastically here in St. Louis. Left-handed shot, too, if you add that, like a Victor Hedman. If he came into St. Louis and you paired him up with Colton Parayko, you know, that it's Leddy and Falk, and then you can kind of build your roster from there. That's a big difference, man. It is. Now,
But
I think the impact of a Cy Young pitcher for the Cardinals, the way they currently sit, probably have a bigger impact.
I agree.
He'd be at least 3 games above 500 with that guy.
Oh.
Nah.
Jamie.
He only pitches once every 5 days, guys.
Man.
We got a text from the 6366 says, Lance Lynn is as old as Carey Davis, so what the hell do you all want?
Whoa.
I mean,
Wait, what?
Close.
Close.
It's close.
It's kind of true.
How old are you?
43.
How old is Lance Lynn?
Hey.
39? 40?
No,
I don't think he's that old.
he's not. He's 37.
I was way off. 39, I was way off.
What else? You said 30. You said 39.
Yes, like I said 65.
You said 30. He is 37. You said 39. Then you're like 40?
Yeah.
You went the other way.
So what?
It's 37.
I was way off.
I mean, he's...
But I don't understand what the texter's asking.
Saying, I wouldn't be able to give you anything as a pitcher.
That's not true. Oh, as a pitcher.
I believe in you.
What?
Yeah.
As a... No.
You, at the very least, you'd be below hitting speed. They wouldn't be able to
First
time you
time
up.
through the order,
Yeah, you'd be solid. Yeah, you could be an opener.
Right.
Yeah. They'd be going back to the dugout, and they'd be like, what's he got? You're like, 51?
Maybe.
Is change up? No, I don't think so. He's just throwing one pitch.
Just throwing as hard as he can.
Yep.
It's taking forever to get there.
We got a poem sent to us a few weeks ago. That was about Jamie, and it was pretty good.
It was very good.
It was outstanding.
We got another one. This one's about Anthony.
Oh, boy.
Would you like to hear it?
Oh, of course we would.
Sure.
Here we go. From the 636. In the heart of the game where dreams take flight stands Anthony, a figure in the spotlight. With a gleam in his eye, sharp and keen, a dream killer, or so it may seem.
Oh, I like that.
He strides with purpose, unwavering, bold, a story of sportsmanship yet to be told. Admiring the Cardinals, the team of his heart, their victories and legends, a work of fine art. Yet in his realm where aspirations ignite, he wields a truth that cuts through the night. For dreams untested are dreams in vain, and he spares no one from the discipline's pain. A dream killer, they whisper, but look again. He forges resilience in the hearts of men. For in the crucible of challenge and
Jamie,
strife,
listen.
True champions emerge, ready for life. So here's to Anthony, with his steady hand, a beacon of truth in this sporting land. Loving the Cardinals, guiding the rest, turning dreamers into the very best.
Outstanding.
Well
that was outstanding.
Yeah.
Well done.
Very good.
Snap.
Well
baby.
done.
Snap.
Outstanding. Do we have a name? I want to give.
I want my poet anonymous.
The
It's got to be
anonymous.
a weird name, you
I
know?
like the mystery of it all.
Right, like Oak or
like
something.
F.R. Bird or
Martian.
something.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good one.
F.R. Bird? I don't know.
I think, you know how we can give our... Fred Bird?
F.R. Bird.
It's Larry's brother. Marshy, you know how we can give our texters names?
Yeah.
Give them a name. Call them the poet. Something-
Anonymous poet.
The poet.
The poet.
The
That's it.
poet. Yeah.
The poet.
The poet.
That was
Keep
outstanding.
the mystery to it.
Yeah. Nice job. That was good. I can't wait for Carey's next.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Seriously.
That was outstanding. All right. That'll do it for us. Got bet the board.
Oh, for the show? I thought
No, just for the
us.
segment.
Like, we just said the hell
What do
with
you
the
got
last
planned,
segment.
Anthony? What's in that backpack?
Don't worry about it.
Why is it making noise?
He likes to brush his teeth in between segments. Electric toothbrush. It's better
the
for
first
you.
thing I thought of, Marshy.
The bristles.
That's what it is. Yeah. That's what
Another
it is.
one, he had
Oh, man.
chipped all his teeth.
Oh. You guys.
That's the route you went?
What are you talking about?
You went that route?
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah, I don't even know what you're talking about. We got Bet the Board coming up. Let's do that.
Maybe not for you. Bet the board, 3 stars of the day. Criticisms, compliments next. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. If you missed anything from today's show, you can always download the podcast at 101ESPN.com, your 101 ESPN mobile app, all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. We have one more set of tickets to give away for the Battlehawks. Why do I keep saying that? UFL championship game. Guess I'm just
wishful
hurt.
thinking.
Can't mislead the audience.
No, they're not going to see the Battlehawks.
No.
Could have, though.
Could have. Should have.
All right, so you can score your pair of tickets to the United Football Championship game this Sunday at the Dome at America Center. Tickets now on sale. Text in 314-399-9646. Again, 314-399-9646. Get all the ticket info and find a bonus chance to register to win tickets for Sunday's UFL Championship game at 101ESPN.com. Carey went to the Cardinals game last night for a very specific reason. What was that reason? Give you a hint.
Likes pain.
He likes pain.
They won.
They did. Yeah, they did win. They won for you. On what night? Not Wednesday night. Think of maybe a university Carey attended.
No.
All right. Bet the board time. Marshall, what do we got for standings?
Well, Jamie's 8-0, much like your Falcons team.
Thank you.
Not the
tonight.
Falcons, but your Falcons.
My Falcons, yeah.
Team.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Anthony, you are 5-3. Carey is 4-3-1, and I'm 3-5.
That one just does not.
You're starting to catch up.
I think I will giggle at that.
Is that 3 in a row?
Unless you get another one.
No.
2 in a row.
2 in a row. All right, Jamie, you're up.
All right, Panthers in Edmonton tonight, Game 3 Stanley Cup Final. Panthers had the storm down in South Florida, couldn't get into Edmonton till late last night, had to get on the ice early today. All things working against the Florida Panthers. So you think that you'd go with the Oilers in this one?
Absolutely.
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not going with Panthers either.
What?
Going with shots on goal play.
Oh, wow.
Leon Draisaitl, the over-under set at 2.5 at -135. If I know anything about Leon Draisaitl, he's going to be shooting from everywhere tonight. They've got to try and score goals on this Florida team. I'm going with the over.
You sneaky, you know what.
Thank you.
All right. My new favorite pitcher, Garrett Crochet. Going to be a Cardinal.
I've heard this guy's name so much lately.
In 15 years. Over-under 7.5 for strikeouts. Give me the over tonight for Garrett Crochet.
Give me the Philadelphia Phillies -108 versus the Boston Red Sox.
What were them last night?
Aaron Nola. That's why they're going to win tonight. They lost last night?
Yes, they did.
To Boston?
Yeah, they're up 4-0. Lost 8-6.
That's not a good feeling.
Nope.
All right, this guy let me down last time, but I'm going back to it for the same reason why Jamie picked Leon Draisaitl. Give me Evan Bouchard over 2.5 shots on goal. It's right at that -150 mark.
All right. Cool. Marsh, what do you got for criticisms and compliments?
Anthony, we have a ton for you.
Okay.
From the 314, Anthony is my new favorite. There, I said it.
Thank you.
Wow, why did they say it like it was dirty, though?
Yeah.
Like it was forbidden fruit.
It's like, there, I said it.
Yeah, there, I said it. Yeah.
I didn't think he deserved that.
That was really funny. There, it's out there. I said it.
Yeah, now deal with it.
Yep. Thank you, though. I appreciate it.
From the 636, Anthony is being a dream killer today, talking about the Cardinals, but he is a man of truth. Whether it hurts or not, that kind of man deserves a poem, and we got that poem earlier today.
Thank you. Yes, thank you very much. Very nice of you to say.
So that was from the poet.
The truth sayer.
From the 314, guys have me crap.
It has happened.
Guys have me cracking up in 270 traffic, and people are probably looking at me like, what's wrong with this guy?
Yell out the window, turn on the fast lane!
That'd be awesome if he's like this person's cracking up. He looks over, and they're also cracking up.
Go fast lane yourself.
Roll down your window.
Fast lane yourself.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Got a text from the 314. I was in a crap mood today. Didn't use the word crap. Y'all are making it hard to stay that way.
Oh, good. Thank you.
We like that.
That's what we enjoyed.
These are some fantastic compliments.
Like it.
From the 314, fading Marsh's Bouchard play. That guy sucks.
Which one? Whoa,
Yeah.
Marshy or Bouchard?
This number looks familiar. I think I might know who this is. I think they might be talking about me.
Oh, no. It's your brother?
No, it's not. Marshy. I think it might be my roommate.
Rachel would never write that about you.
No, it's not.
Oh, man.
That's hilarious.
She knows that Evan Bouchard's a solid defenseman when he's not getting choked
I mean, he
on the
made a
ice.
hell of a pass last game. Unfortunately, to the Panthers, and they scored.
Well, you know who also
Those
made
things happen.
A great pass. Well, I guess it wasn't really a pass. It's more of a shot.
Behind the back shot.
Behind the back shot. Nico Mikkola
Shot the
follows
puck
up.
on his own goalie last game.
Scores a goal.
Then moments later, scores a goal on the other team.
That's right. That's
I
incredible.
just want to make sure Bob was awake back there.
You got that there, Bob?
Pay attention.
Pay attention. I know you don't have a lot going on tonight.
It really wasn't.
Not a lot of shots in
Not at
game
that
2
point.
for Bob.
Got a text from 618 compliment. Love the Mother Fast Lane Show.
Thank you.
The podcast brought to me by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Cha-ching.
Even got the sponsorship.
And 101 ESPN app keeps me updated on the latest Fast Lane Cardinals and the Fast Lane Blues information since I live in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Thanks,
right.
boys.
Well, you're welcome. That was an awesome. Did Ryder text that? Nice work.
All right, let's get to our 3 stars of the day. These are big. Our 3rd star of the day, Anthony, you said he didn't have any bad ideas. Darth Vader.
Darth Vader. No, I said, tell me he didn't have any bad ideas.
Quality guy.
Hold on.
You said he didn't have any
What I
bad
said was, tell me he didn't have some good ideas. That's what I said.
I mean, Anthony, well said.
Thank you.
What would those be?
You know, just thoughts on leadership and organization and, just being disciplined overall.
Yeah, no, for sure. You know, when someone would act up, he would be like, hey, your lack of faith disturbs me.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, sometimes you just got to get choked out by the force.
Well, you know.
Yeah.
Jamie's with it now.
I'm totally on board now at this point.
Being in 2 places at once.
Absolutely.
Essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, he threw the Emperor over that little thing.
He did.
Should have been standing there, you know?
Yeah. And then Disney retconned it, essentially, and then he came back. But anyways.
Either way.
Our 2nd star of the day goes to Anthony's poem.
Thank you.
It was very nice.
That was very nice.
Very well written.
Yeah.
No doubt.
And then, of course, our 1st star of the day goes to Anthony's chapstick.
Yeah. That's nice.
I don't think that's chapstick.
Trying to put it on my lips.
No, that one's chapstick. It's the other one he should be concerned about.
Oh, my God.
We appreciate...
Call that lip balm.
Yeah. We appreciate everybody listening or tuned in, watching via the Air Alliance Team YouTube channel, the Snake Pit. Well done. Thank you. Appreciate you. We've got an instant replay show coming up from 6 to 6:30. Then we've got Oilers-Panthers pregame at 6:30. Game 3 tonight in Edmonton. We'll air it right here on 101 ESPN. For Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, and Jamie Rivers, I'm Anthony Stalter. See ya.